Monk on the beat.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. DBN Live, baby. We at it again. DBN Radio, DBN Live is going down like a plane crash, y'all. Y'all already know what it is.
Going up in flames.
Man, it's about to go down. I got some special guests in the building. We about to talk about this fight. Your boy, Anthony Joshua. He said, let's go. We gonna talk about that. We're going to talk about that and what it means. We're going to talk about his body language. Let me go ahead and introduce. Matter of fact, before I do that, let me go ahead and get set up over here real quick. First things first, man. Always gonna introduce. We got to introduce the lieutenants. You know, in that super chat section so far, my man setting the charge and leading the charge, my man Ohio runs boxing. I appreciate the love, man. We about to get it in, y'all. We about to definitely get it in right now. Yes, sir. So let me go ahead and switch up the camera and everything, and let's get into it, y'all.
Ain't no shout out like some layouts.
all day. Get over a little bit. There you go. All right, y'all. Y'all know what it is, man. Just wanted to give you guys my live thoughts, live reaction. Let me go ahead and introduce my special guest. We got the fam bam in the studio. We just got done watching the fight. I got Uncle Tommy in the building. What's going on, Tommy?
Hey, in the LV trying to get something done.
That's what it is.
Take a little cheddar home. If it don't, I'll go home without it.
All day. And you brought your homie up here, my man Cali Cal. What's going on, Cali?
Oh, man, hanging in there, man. You know what I mean?
All day.
Making it do what it do.
That's what it is, y'all. So let's go ahead and let's talk about this boxing, man. So Anthony Joshua, so he gets a win over Joseph Parker. Tommy, I want you to give me your thoughts, man. Give me your thoughts on the whole fight and everything.
I see it this way. Anthony A.J. Joshua. That's what they call him. A.J. stands for a jerk.
Hey, what? What is it?
A jerk.
There it is.
Like I said, when you running scared, you pumping your crowd up, your fans up, but you ain't showing them what you can do because you want to fight nobody. You ain't no true champ. Okay? They talking about the next fight. You ain't bringing up Deontay Wilder's name at all. You just talking. You just flow showing. You looking good.
And you know what? And that's crazy you say that, Tommy, which brings up, you know, my point. The post-fight interview, Tommy, you heard the reporter. And credit to the reporter, man, because the reporter, man, he was really, really pressuring your boy Anthony Joshua to answer questions about Deontay Wilder. I remember Anthony Joshua, the first thing Anthony Joshua said, what'd he say? He said, I'm the unified champion, the heavyweight champion of the world. And then the reporter, Tommy, if you remember, he said, but you know, in order for you to be undisputed, you have to fight the WBC champion. He said, do you want to be the undisputed champion? And then that's when Anthony Joshua said, well, you asked me if I want to be undisputed. Like basically saying, I didn't say I wanted to fight Wilder. I said I wanted to be undisputed. But the only way you can do that is by fighting against Deontay Wilder. And then later on, like I said, Anthony, he said, you know, I'll say it like Dillian White, let's go. But it still sounded, just to piggyback off what you said, Tommy, it still sounded like Anthony Joshua, he really wasn't too crazy about taking that fight with Wilder, you know, so that's pretty much what that is, man. That's pretty much what that. And the picture you guys are looking at on the screen, this was Anthony's actual reaction when the reporter said, because the reporter kept asking Anthony, he kept saying, yeah, I hear you saying this and this, basically, I'm paraphrasing, but then he said, but what about Deontay Wilder? The question kept going back to that. But what about Wilder? Okay, I hear you saying, the promoters, you want to unify and you got all the belts, but what about Wilder? He kept going back to that, and this was the look that Anthony Joshua had on his face. I think around the third time the reporter said, what about Deontay Wilder? That's what he wanted to hear.
Let me chime in on that.
Go ahead, Tommy.
The thing about it, UK fighters, they got some good fighters over there, but they good at saying what they fans want to hear. They ain't saying what everybody else want to hear. Like, we'll take this fight, we'll do this. There's a lot of UK fighters had belts. When they got the belts, they don't leave their hometown to go fight. Oh, you come over here and fight. We don't neutral ground. Give everybody a chance to try to take their belt. Who want to go over there in the UK, change their schedule, get up at 3 o'clock in the morning, adjust your body in a short time? Mm-hmm. And a lot of people don't see that.
And a lot of people don't see that.
Yeah, we know neutral ground. Joe Kawasaki, one of the best fighters in the world. But how many times he left the UK to go fight somewhere else? No, you come over here to me, to my hometown. Nah. He was scared of Bernard Hopkins. He was scared of Roy Jones. Retired undefeated. Why? Because he had a point where he had to fight one of those two. He ran.
Well, he fought them both towards the end of their careers.
Yeah.
And the Bernard Hopkins fight, it could have went either way. But the Roy Jones fight would have been completely different if he would have fought him in his prime.
Fight him in their prime.
Absolutely, man.
Fight him in their prime.
Let me go ahead and introduce another member of the panel, my man Blue Blood Sports TV. What's going on, Blue?
Yo, what's going on? What's going on, man?
All right, man.
Hey, never love.
Yeah, I got my uncle in the building. My Uncle Tommy and his friend Cali Cal, man. So say what's up to my man Blue. Blue is out there in Brooklyn, man. He be out there holding it down, and he took me on a tour out there when I covered the last fight out there. So
NY in the house
all day.
That's right.
All day. Hey, so Blue, man. Seriously, I want to get your reaction. Give me your thoughts on the actual fight and Anthony Joshua's body language and how he responded to the Deontay Wilder questions on Blue.
Man, the actual fight, man, I thought that it was very telling, man. I thought that I know Deontay Wilder was watching that fight, man, and it was just like, listen, man, they got to give me this fight like tomorrow, man, because the jab and the athletic ability of Joseph Parker nullified everything Anthony Joshua did.
Absolutely.
He looked confused from the jump. He didn't want to let his right hand go. The scorecards was really ridiculous.
Lopsided.
Man.
Yeah.
But he was afraid to let his right hand go because he was scared to get countered. So if you're going to be scared to get countered from Joseph Parker, and no disrespect to Joseph Parker and his power, but it's not Deontay Wilder's power, and he doesn't have Deontay Wilder reach. He was scared to get counted. He didn't want to let his hands go. So you can only imagine if he's in the ring with Deontay Wilder.
Hey, Blue. Blue, okay, cut you off real quick. It's like this. You in the country walking down going down the ditch. It's dark. You got to get home. If you don't make that journey to get home and try to get there and you don't step up, you ain't going to do anything. That's what Parker did. He walked down the dark alley. He met a monster he wasn't afraid of, which you shouldn't have been afraid of. Like I say, things you're scared of, you can always beat.
But you know what, on top of that, though, he's in the alley, you know what I mean? He's not showing that much fear.
Nah.
But the monster alone wasn't doing a whole lot.
At all.
And he could have took advantage of the monster. So the whole thing with like what you just said, Blue, he nullified him with the jab. He was smart enough to tie up Anthony when his back was against the ropes, but he was still a little passive. He was still a little reluctant. He was still in there thinking to himself, I can't get hit by this guy. I still think that Joseph Parker, he was more focused on not getting hit than committing to the shots he was throwing.
That's what it was.
If he would have fought with a little bit more confidence,
That's what it was.
you know, he probably would have ended up, you know, dominating Anthony Joshua, possibly, or at least he would have, you know,
absolutely, man.
at least he would have done, you know, a whole lot more. But let me go ahead and shout out. I always got to introduce the lieutenants in the Army, the DBN Army. We pushing this tank over here, y'all. So shout out to my man Rayshawn Smith. I appreciate the donation. He said, I just want that African guy to call back in. LOL from yesterday, talking about AJ playing possum. LOL hashtag bomb squad. Well, he didn't say he was playing possum, Rayshawn. He said he's acting like he's scared. And I I made the distinction. It's a little different. You know what I mean? Acting like you scared sounds extremely ridiculous, you know, compared to playing possum. And then another African guy called in later on, and he said, hey, man, that African dude, I just want to let y'all know, he don't speak for all of us. And then he said the complete opposite of what that dude has said. So that was pretty cool, man. But, yeah, man, that's pretty much what it is. I want to go ahead and quote. Let me go ahead and quote what Anthony Joshua had to say when they asked him the question. Okay, so the reporter, once again, man, credit to Showtime, man, because I like how they set up this whole broadcast, the whole telecast, starting it off with a piece on Deontay Wilder. So even though Anthony Joshua didn't want Deontay Wilder to get in the ring and confront him and promote a future fight, Showtime still promoted it, you know, and the commentators, they promoted it. You know, everyone was promoting the fight. And like I said earlier, I thought the look on Anthony Joshua's face when the reporter asked, like, for the third time, because he was trying to get a direct answer. You know what I mean? Do you want to fight Wilder? And around the third time he asked the question, you seen this sigh, like, man, are you going to keep asking me about this damn Wilder?
It'll keep coming
you know? You can't avoid this. And I think, Blue, what's happening right now, after this performance, I think even the UK fans, but even by just listening to how the reporter was interviewing Deontay Wilder, Anthony Joshua, Anthony wasn't used to that. So I think, you know, all of this pressure, even the UK fans and the UK media, even they starting to say, all right, Anthony, we defend you as long as we can, bro, but we really have no choice but to ask the question. When are you going to fight Deontay Wilder, right?
The thing is,
man, I compare it to, you know, when you got a wife or a girlfriend, man, you know, they just never can make up their mind about what they want to eat. So you keep asking them.
Or what they want to buy, or what they want to buy. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Right. Eventually they get frustrated and they give you that look like, why you keep asking me? I don't know what I want. That's the look that Anthony Joshua gave the reporter. You know, he was frustrated with the question. He knew it was coming, but he was frustrated. You know, it was almost like he wanted an out. And his out was Dillian White, because towards the end of it, he looks at Dillian White in the crowd and says, oh, I'm going to say what Dillian White said.
Yeah.
Bomb squad or Deontay.
Yeah, let's go. He said, let's go. Yeah.
Right.
yeah.
You know, that wasn't.
It still wasn't an answer.
No, it wasn't.
Right, exactly.
See,
you know, and it wasn't even confidence. He, you know, it was. He said it in a joking way.
Exactly, sarcasm. Absolutely.
Right.
Someone down the line, they call you Anthony AJ Johnson. They start calling you AJ JF Johnson. Just freaking scared.
Oh man. See, I mean, once again, he got to do something. So
he's got to do something.
So let me quote. So go ahead.
Before you quote, you know, like, you ever seen The Patriot with Mel Gibson? When Great Britain was our big brother, we were scared of him. Now we Great Britain big brother, and they scared of us. Step up to the plate, show us y'all got some balls, show what you can do.
Y'all hearing it from Uncle Tommy.
Yeah,
he came out here from Cali.
We don't call y'all for help. You call us for help now.
Hey, that's what it is, man.
It's all about boxing. Being real.
Oh, you know what? Before I quote, man, let's go ahead and open up the phone lines. You guys, if you guys want to call in and give your thoughts on the fight, if you want to represent Anthony Joshua, if you feel anything that we saying doesn't make logical sense, go ahead and call us in and give us your thoughts. We're going to open up the phone lines and see what it is. All right, let's see what we got here. We got 410. What's your name? Where you calling from, man?
What's going on, man? It's the boy Ray Sean from Baltimore.
Hey, what's going on, Ray Sean?
MD in
Good-
the house. MD.
Hey, man.
Good looking, family.
Oh, man, no doubt, man. Anytime. Listen, man, first and foremost, man, these AJ detectives, man, they got to chill out and fall back, man. They know that bomb squad coming for them. They can't handle the real. At the end of the day, boss, when these fans, they can tweet, troll, do all the things they need to do. But the bottom line is these two brothers got to get in the ring and they got to squawk it out.
Make it happen.
Mm-hmm.
Bottom line, AJ talking all that mess. After you try to put a restraining order on, man, it's not a. It's crazy. It's like, how you gonna be Braveheart? And you know what I mean? You pretty much put a restraining order. The man,
Yeah, like you said, it's pretty much. Yeah, because I want to
Like
just.
they was married.
Yeah.
Like they was married.
I just.
That's my ex-husband. He abused me. Don't let him come in here. See,
Hey,
it's just crazy, boss. Because listen, the performance was, pretty much he looked like a black Klitschko in there in his prime.
Black
You know what I'm saying? That's how he
Klitschko.
pretty much
Interesting.
Hey,
But you gotta.
He looked like a.
But a Vladimir Klitschko, I would say, kind of like a black Vladimir Klitschko, because Vitaly was a little bit more active. He had a little bit more confidence.
that's
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, man.
Mm-hmm.
Jab,
Hey,
hold
brother,
hold
though,
behind
look,
the
though.
head, man.
that's a good quote.
Good comparison,
You
too.
let
Yeah.
Klitschko, what, he about 67 years old?
Uh-huh.
And he floored you? Mm-hmm. Now, you talking about a young Thundercat, a big Thundercat like DW coming at you. When he floor you, you going to go to sleep, probably wake up like 4 or 5 years from right now.
And
When
you
he
and
hit you.
Listen, man. I'm just gonna say this one last thing, man. I hear all that stuff that AJ talking, man. But listen, man, that fight gotta go down in Vegas, man. I can't respect no champion from overseas. Every champion who's ever been any kind of legend, they all say you gotta fight in the United States, man. You know what I mean? Like Lennox Lewis, the last great, you know what I mean, overall fighter from Britain. You know what I'm saying? He made his name in Vegas. He made his name in the United States, man. Madison Square Garden. Come on, man. For him to sit up there and say that, his legacy will be tainted. And don't get it wrong. I don't want to sound like no biased yank, but we crown legends, man. If you're just a legend overseas, listen, man, Frank Bruno, he considered a legend. But he's more of a legend for losing than anything. You know what I mean? So, at the end of the day, man, AJ, I hear you talking Playboy, but it's all about that bomb squad. And, you know what I mean? Them fans going to troll, let them troll, but at the end of the day, they know where it is.
they know where it is. Hey, and I want to say real quick, just for the record, so there's no confusion, Anthony Joshua didn't literally file a restraining order on Wilder. What Anthony Joshua did was he requested that Deontay Wilder not come a certain distance within him after the fight. He did exactly. Which is the closest thing to a restraining order, right?
Yeah,
so I just want to
that's a
make that
restraining
clear.
order.
That is a restraining order.
Like I say,
Make sure you're talking to Mike, Tommy.
like he pretty much saying, that's my ex-husband. I don't want him around me because he might whoop my ass.
Y'all heard it from Uncle Tommy.
That's all it is.
Man. I mean, at the end of the day, if I say that I don't want this person, I don't have to go to the court. But if I got a team around me and I can say, listen, I don't want this dude within a certain amount of feet of me. It's just a restraining order.
It's just not legally binded, but it's a restraining order though.
Yeah.
It's just not through the courts.
Order.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So exactly because that is exactly what he ordered. He ordered Deontay Wilder to be restrained from the ring. Technically.
And he can't even hide it, because even Sky Sports came out and said that they were surprised that they got the memo about this. So he can't even hide it. He can't even deny it. And anybody that deny it, it's just denial, man.
Yeah.
I mean, at some point in time, man, you got to be real with yourself.
You got to step
As
to the
fans,
plate.
man, you got to just be real with yourself, man. I mean, we fans of Deontay Wilder, we just want to see the fight at the end of the day. They're the top two heavyweights in the world, man. We just want to see the fights, man. When nobody's trying to be biased, none of that, man. At the end of the day, you got to call a spade a spade. We all see AJ is not trying to come to the table. He's not trying to have the fight, man. Just listen. Just Keith Thurman, what Keith Thurman said, listen, I ain't ready to have the Errol Spence fight.
Yeah, he said.
You
He said, Errol, well, you ready? But I'm not ready.
No,
He said, but guess what? I'm not ready.
Now you touched on.
But I'm not ready.
Yeah, that's what he said.
At least be a man about it. You know what I'm saying? Listen, I'm not ready.
No, son. Hey, can I say something? I like Keith Thurman, great fighter. My thing is, he pretty boy. No, son. Go get a woman that's gonna like make you. Get that thing, get rid of her. Because like I say, when it comes to the body, he ain't got none. He ain't got none. Errol Spence love to work the body. He go make, well, I ain't gonna say it, but he go make Keith Thurman defecate in the ring with them body shots. Keith Thurman ain't got it.
So you saying after watching the Luis Collazo fight and the Sean Porter fight,
he hit him in the body. He just bent over like, damn, he finna die.
He definitely doubled him over, but
he did.
There's no difference. But see, speaking of Keith Thurman, and I'm gonna take another call, guys, in a minute. But speaking of Keith Thurman, real quick, let's talk about that situation. So ESPN reported the other day that they talked to close sources in Thurman's camp, and Keith Thurman has suffered another injury. Now he suffered a left hand injury, and they not just saying it's an injury. They saying the fight is off. Now, it hasn't been confirmed. It's not official. It hasn't been announced yet that the fight is off. But Keith Thurman, this is something you guys need to pay attention to and note. Keith Thurman hasn't came out and said this is not true. He's not saying, hey, guys, that's not true. I'm still fighting. He hasn't tweeted. He hasn't said anything on Instagram. So that means it's a good chance, especially if ESPN is reporting it. It's a very good chance the fight is not going down. Blue, your thoughts? Do you feel that's for sure the fight is not going down? And what does this mean with Errol Spence getting the chance to fight your boy Keith?
Man, I think this really hurts the chances of us seeing Errol Spence and Keith Thurman in definitely 2018. It's not happening. Early 2019 probably won't even happen, man. I think that Keith Thurman is damaged goods at this point, man. I think that I think the lack of announcing that opponent this close. I mean, it's April already.
Yeah.
When were they planning to announce an opponent?
Yeah.
You know, when you have a date, May 19th, a venue already set.
Yeah.
So those are signs right there to let us know he probably was injured, and they probably was trying to prolong it to see if maybe the injury healed in a certain amount of time, and they could go through and push through with the fight. Mm-hmm. But I think at this point in time, man, and he shows a lack of mental strength with his injuries because, with the elbow injury, it reminds me of Derrick Rose, man. He's scared to, it could ruin your career, if you don't have confidence in it, man. And this is even worse. It being his left hand, now you got your right elbow and your left hand. Mm-hmm. Man, and then he messed up
he messed up his neck before that. The boy's just all broken up, man. He's just all broken up.
It's just not a good look, man.
There ain't no injured elbow. It's called something like, I got my elbow, I can't throw this. My right elbow can't do this. My neck hurt. That's called I don't want to fight him.
You talking about Errol Spence?
I'm talking about Keith Thurman. He don't want to fight him.
But you say him. You talking about he don't want to fight who?
He don't want to fight Errol Spence. Because like I say, if you look at Errol Spence, what is his main target? The body.
Yeah.
He gonna work the body
and
kill the head.
But Tommy, check this out though. So Errol Spence, he called out Keith Thurman 2-3 years ago. 2015.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Now Keith Thurman, and once again, we are quoting facts. So this is not our opinion or anything like that. Keith Thurman said back in 2015, he said, let's give the boy to about 2017. Let's see him fight somebody. He ain't fought nobody yet. He said he'll be ready around 2017 and a quarter. Yeah. He'll be ready. We in 2018, he just recently said it probably won't happen to 2019. Yeah. Now, Tommy, this was before the injury that is, being reported now, rumored, right?
The phantom injury.
Yeah, he said the phantom injury.
Yeah.
So, Tommy, if he wasn't going to fight Errol Spence to 2019 before this injury, what is that? Is he ever going to fight Errol Spence?
No, son, right now, he running faster than Carl Lewis right now.
Carl Lewis.
He running faster than Carl Lewis.
You said
he running. That's just like Danny Jacobs. He did the same thing. He not ready. Why he ain't ready?
You said Danny Jacobs did the same thing.
No, my bad. Danny
Garcia.
Garcia.
Uh-huh.
He said the same thing on TV. I don't think he ready yet.
Oh yeah, he did.
He ready.
He did. He said let him fight. He said that like a year ago. Danny said let him fight some people. He needs to get on my level. Now he's above his level.
Yeah.
Now Errol is the champion, and he
now
hey Danny.
Danny want to fight him.
Yeah. Now no, Errol want to fight him. Errol want to fight him.
Danny
told me I just interviewed. Go ahead, Blue.
They know they don't have to be 100%. They got to be 110% when it comes to Errol.
1,000%.
You got to bring you got to bring your lunchbox and your hard hat, man, because he coming to work, man.
Mm-hmm.
He coming to work, man. You ain't gonna dance circle around him. It ain't gonna be no. If you do get the victory, it's gonna look like you didn't get the victory, man, because you're gonna feel it. You know what I'm saying? So they know they got to come 110%.
Yeah.
And I think with Keith Thurman's situation, he with the injuries on top of the fact that you know what Errol brings to the table, man. I think that it's like a repellent, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, yo, listen, avoid this dude by all costs, man.
Yeah. Because
I could survive. Errol don't have those limitations that. And no knock against Danny Garcia and Sean Porter, but Sean Porter is not the greatest boxer in the world. He's a rough, rugged type of fighter.
Mm-hmm.
Street fighter.
Danny have slow feet. So Errol don't possess none of those issues. So it's a different ball game. And he young, and he want it.
Mm-hmm.
He coming up, man. He trying to build up his resume.
Mm-hmm.
He ain't have that Matisse fight that Danny Garcia had on Floyd Mayweather undercard.
Uh-huh.
He ain't have that he just got his Kell Brook fight. That Sean Porter already had in the States.
Mm-hmm.
Sean Porter already faced Keith Thurman. He already faced Kell Brook. Errol was trying to get to that level. He hungry. He want it.
Yeah.
And by any means necessary. And they know it's kill or be killed with that dude, man. And they ain't listen, man. What they say when you wake up in silk sheets, man, and you got animal covers, man. It's hard to get up and run 2 miles and 5 miles a day, man.
Uh-huh.
It's hard to get up for Danny Garcia. I mean, for
Errol Spence,
man. When you already got victories and you already being crowned and all of that, man. It's difficult to get up for that dude, man. And Errol's bringing it, man.
He's bringing it. And I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this lightly, in a funny way. But when you say they need to pack a lunch, they treating this man like they damn near need to go get some of that contaminated meat if they gonna get in there with him. You know what I'm saying? They like, man, let me go south of the border if I'm messing with this dude and give me some of that damn meat. So I mean, that's how they treating Errol right now, man.
Canelo just did it, though.
Man.
Canelo just did that. Came south of the border.
Yeah. And that's what I was referring to, basically.
Yeah.
So it is what it is, man.
I feel bad for Errol, man, because it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
it's unfortunate.
Yeah, it really is, man. It sucks, man. But at least the best part about it with him is he got Terrence Crawford.
But
Terrence Crawford ain't going to avoid him like the Black Plague. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Terrence Crawford's going to go to the fight. So regardless of how he get those straps, because I think eventually the WBC is going to tell Keith, listen, you got to.
That was my next question. Are they going to make him, because it ain't right, man. They letting him hold the belt, Tommy.
Yeah.
They letting him hold the championship belt, but he keeps having these injuries. That's kind of like saying, hey, guys, we're not going to have the Super Bowl for at least 2 more seasons because this quarterback, you know more about – that's you, Tommy. You the football, dude. But because a certain quarterback, he can't play in the Super Bowl. No. So, guys, we just going to prolong, the Super Bowl for 2 more seasons. And that's really, in essence, that's pretty much what Keith Thurman is doing, right, Tommy?
Hey, my quarterback don't want to play. We got a chance to win. You better get in there. You ain't getting that check.
There it is.
You ain't getting that check.
Mm-hmm.
There it is. And not only that, Blue, but this also means that Keith Thurman is going to be a lot more rusty because he already had the long, layoff. Now the layoff is extended. Now the pressure is on you to perform well, and it's just a lot of pressure on him. He, like you said, he in them silk sheets right now. I'm sure. Yeah. I'm assuming. I don't know, but I'm assuming Keith Thurman. He been investing his money well. So
right.
Yeah, man. I mean,
and then we got to pay attention to these key words that he used. He said, "I'm gonna have a tune-up." and then I'm going to take on a mandatory and see how I feel then. So he's not even guaranteeing us after he have his mandatory versus a Sean Porter or Danny Garcia that he would be prepared to take on Errol Spence at that point. He's basically saying, let me see how I feel on a level up from my tune-up, and then if not, then we could bet that he's going to take on his other mandatory, which would be the opposite of Porter or Garcia. You know, so I mean, those things are real telling, man. What he's saying, man. You listen closely to what he's saying, man.
Read between the lines
and preparing us. Yeah,
read between the lines.
Preparing us to. You know what I'm saying? And then he said something else that was real interesting to me, man. He said that I already know, and this is before Danny Garcia Brandon Rios fight. He said I already know the WBC is going to mandatory. He said Sean Porter is my mandatory, but I already know the WBC is going to mandatory make Danny Garcia my mandatory. How you know that? I mean, we didn't even know if it wasn't set in stone that he was going to get past Brandon Rios. I favored him, Danny Garcia, to get past Brandon Rios, but it wasn't set in stone. So, you know, how did you know that they was going to do that? And then, lo and behold, Danny Garcia leapfrogged Sean Porter in the WBC rankings.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what, guys? The phone lines are lit. We're gonna take a call. I noticed in my description, I had a number missing in the for the access code to call in, but it's on the screen. The right one is on the screen. But now I just updated it. So yeah, you guys can call in, give us your thoughts. All right. We're gonna go ahead and go back to the phone lines. Let's see what we got here. All right, we got 773. What's going on? What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, I'm Melvin Jackson, calling from Chicago.
What's going on?
Chi-Town in the house.
Chi-Town.
No, Chirac.
Chirac.
Much love to Chicago, man.
Say it again. Say it again. What you say?
Hey, I just wanted to say, man, me and my son just got to watching that Anthony Joshua Parker fight, and that was horrible.
He said it was horrible.
He said horrible, man.
Yeah, it was horrible.
Yeah, I was thinking about something.
You sound a little muffled. Just letting you know, bro. You sound a little muffled. I could barely hear you. What'd you say now? You sound just.
Okay, can you hear me now?
No, it's the same. But go ahead. We'll translate. Don't worry about it. Go ahead, man.
Okay. I was thinking about something y'all was just talking about, and I was thinking about past interview with Keith and Joshua, and they both were saying the same thing. If you look at the interviews, they both saying that ain't saying that they can't lose. They saying they can't afford to lose right now, and now y'all have mandatories instead of fighting the big bad wolves in y'all division.
That's an excellent point. They both, you know, emphasize on how important it is and how much, because Keith Thurman, he basically said, you know, you take a little bit of a setback when you take a loss. He said it ain't over completely, but it kind of pretty much knocks you back to the back of the line. You got to work harder. And he volunteered this information, you know, to just speak to the point that you're making right now. And then once again, when it comes to Anthony Joshua, he said, look, man, it took me a long time to get here, and I'm not just going, you know, when I'm ready, I'm going to do it when I'm ready on my terms, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So you're right. They've pretty much been saying the exact same thing. But the pressure, go ahead, bro.
Yeah, the pressure is on.
The pressure is on. And once again, like I said, you know, the truth will always come to light. I say this all the time on this show. You know, you could throw the truth in the jail cell, throw away the key. That truth is going to break free. And what we finding out is all this time we've been reporting on this Anthony Joshua, Deontay Wilder news, and we've been reporting everything that's been, you know, transpiring. Now you listen to the media that's interviewing Anthony Joshua, and they asking the same questions we asking now. Yeah. So that just goes to show you that even they are saying the same things, like, you know what, these guys are right. We need to see this fight. Yeah. Once again, like I want to reiterate, like I said earlier in the show, it's almost like they was like, hey, Anthony, you know, we was looking out for you. We still got your back. We wishing the best for you. We tried not to, you know, bring up the D word or the DW word, you know, too many times, but it's time to mention the boy's name. You know, and now I'm telling you guys, I think now after this, especially after this fight, it's going to get to the point to where, you know, fans are going to put pressure. Anthony's fans are going to put pressure on him. Just like Canelo's fans, they put pressure on him to fight Lara. That's the only reason we got the Canelo-Lara fight, because fans straight from Mexico, after Lara jumped on that stage and said, why don't you fight me? It was fans from Mexico that was sending messages to Canelo saying, this Cuban guy, why won't you fight him? So, yeah, man, the pressure, you know, the pressure is very hard for him to avoid.
It is.
It's going to be a backlash. I truly believe it'll be a backlash. What's up?
Hey, Doctor, I'm glad, man, and I thank y'all for the opportunity.
No
and
problem.
keep doing what y'all doing, man.
Hey, thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Hey, brother, before you go, let me say a little something. It's just like fighters these days, they get their belts and they want to cherish them, okay? It's like, for years, like Kanye West. He wanted Kim Kardashian. He said, when I'm going to get that, I ain't going to let it go. They get these belts and they don't want to let them go because they make them irrelevant.
He got a couple Kardashians on the strap on the shoulder right now.
As soon as they lose it, they done. Like I say, sometimes you got to take that chance. Hey, you might have something good, but somewhere down the line, you got to let it go.
Anthony said he worked too hard, Tommy.
Yeah.
Anthony, he said he worked too hard to get Kim Kardashian. That's what he said. He said he worked too hard to get Kardashian.
He been wanting her for years, but like I said, you get something, you gotta let it go. Sometimes you gotta let it go.
He could get another Kardashian. He could get another Kardashian, right?
Yeah, gotta let it go sometimes. Gotta let it go.
What do you say, Blue?
You know what else was interesting? Man? When the reporter was, after he interviewed Joshua, he went over and interviewed Parker. He was in a rush to get from Parker back to Joshua. He ran over there. Yeah, he was eager, man. He ran back over there. So listen, Anthony, about Deontay. He rolled his eyes, you know, like, oh, here we go again, man.
Yeah, absolutely. He did. So I mean, but Blue, you did catch that, right? That wasn't just me. You know, you caught that, right? Okay, his body, he rolled his eyes and he turned to the side. So, like I said, once again, we all seeing this, guys. He was annoyed and irritated with the questions of Deontay Wilder. I'm going to take another call. But before I do, since, you know, this is the title of the video, I want to reiterate and go back over it just in case you guys are just tuning in to the live show. Anthony Joshua was interviewed after the fight. He said, I am the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world.
No, you're not.
The reporter, he said, so do you want to be the undisputed champion? Because he said, I'm the unified champion. He said, do you want to be undisputed? He said, well, you asked me if I want to be undisputed. I said, yes. He said, but you know you have to fight Wilder to be undisputed. Are you ready to fight Wilder? And Deontay, and this is when Anthony said, well, look, man, I got this belt. I got that belt. I got this belt. Talk to Al Heyman. Talk to Eddie Hearn. Talk to my trainer, et cetera, et cetera. And then the reporter said again, so you are going to fight Deontay Wilder? And that's when he had that sigh, you know, that expression like that, you know, breathing hard, like, oh, my God. Will you leave me alone with this damn Wilder question? That was how he rolled his eyes, like Blue said. You know, so just to get everyone caught up who missed the post-fight press conference. Hey, let's go to the phone lines again. Take another call. We got 347. What's going on? What's your name? Where you calling from, man? 347, you there? Okay, 347. He done froze up. All right, we're going to go to another one. All right, we got, here, let me see here. We got 320. What's going on? What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, what's up? David calling from St. Cloud, Minnesota.
All right.
Hey, I just got through watching the Anthony Joshua fight. Anthony Joshua do not want to see Wilder. I think Wilder would definitely beat him. He, like you said, he started naming off all them belts. I thought he already had a unified or something. All them belts he was naming off. But he do got to see Wilder, and I think Wilder would take it and bring all them belts back to the United States.
Bring them all back. And that was pretty bold. That was pretty bold of him to say that, though, right? Yeah. That was bold of him to say, I am the unified heavyweight champion. I mean, he put pressure on himself because even the reporter said, oh, well, now since you said that, I was going to save this question, but I might as well ask you now since you said that. Do you want to be the undisputed champion? So he put pressure on himself when he said that, when he made that bold statement.
Yeah,
So
and then again, he didn't look that impressive when he was fighting Parker today. It looked like he was more of holding one shot and holding, like trying to pull a Mayweather move or something.
yeah, he wasn't comfortable in there. Parker was neutralizing a lot of stuff that he was doing, and that was the problem. You know, Parker was neutralizing a lot of stuff he was doing. It was more of a chess match, and Anthony Joshua said after the fight, look, I told you guys this would be a boxing match. This would be more about finesse rather than an actual fight, which it was a chess match, no doubt about it.
Yeah.
But that ain't going to work against Deontay Wilder.
Yeah.
Deontay Wilder,
Exactly.
Deontay Wilder has too much heart. He has too much
I
will.
seen one move that Parker did that reminded me of a Wilder when he was loading up, when he was backing up to the rope, and he had loaded up that backhand. But yeah, I think definitely Wilder would get Joshua.
Yeah.
Oh, of course. But which come to my question: the Kanye and Kim Kardashian, the belt to Anthony Joshua is like a fine woman. You got this fine woman. How I'm gonna keep her? Keep her. Okay. Now, he don't want to fight him because he don't lose his woman. Those belts are his women. He sleep with them every night. Believe me, I bet you sleep with him. Hug him, kiss him, doing all that.
Massage him. You know I love you, baby. You know I love you, baby.
Doing all that. Yeah. How would he feel when he lose them women he got, them fine women he got? How would he feel when he lose them?
He gonna be heartbroken.
Or something, like I say.
And they gonna take half.
Yeah.
They gonna take half his damn money when they leave too.
Yeah. I'm going here. I'm gonna talk the real. I ain't gonna sugarcoat nothing. I'm gonna talk the real.
Yeah, hey, y'all listening to my Uncle Tommy. He out here in the studio hanging out, came out here from California, and he brought his homie Cali Cal that's on the mic too. Yeah, so we over here chilling after the fight. I see everybody. Oh, okay. That's somebody playing the live. I'm hearing myself in the background. Somebody playing the live feed in the back. Hey, man, but thanks for your call, man. We're going to get to another one. All right, man? You still there? 320? Minnesota. Okay. All right. Well, anyway, yeah, like I said, once again, we're going to take another call. I see people starting to pour in now, and I'm assuming everybody just finished watching the fight because everybody's starting to pour in right now. Because there's two telecasts. The one that they play live out there in the UK, and then they're gonna air it again. Tonight, whenever it is, right, Tommy?
Yeah.
So so that's what it is.
Yeah, it's at 10 o'clock.
10 o'clock. 10 o'clock your time, 7 o'clock my time. So that means.
Oh yeah.
Yes. So that means that there's gonna be a lot of people that's gonna watch it as we doing this show. It's gonna come back on anyway. But let's go ahead and go to the phone lines. Go back to the phone lines. 404. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, man, this Q again from Stone Mountain, brother. How you doing?
What's going on, Q? All right, man. We getting it in.
Yeah, man. Hey, first off, I just want to say this further lets us know, man, that as Americans, we need to back our fighters, man, because here you go again where, you see Tony Bellew and all these guys saying, oh, yeah, this is fine. I'm glad he finally said that, put America on notice that, Britain, we can fight here, that we don't have to go over there and prove ourselves and all this other BS, man. And that has to further highlight our American fighters like, Terrence Crawford, who went over there to England, and Timothy Bradley and Errol Spence Jr. And, and I just feel like, I don't know what Parker's camp was thinking, but when you go over to places like that, you have to take the fight to the champion. You cannot leave it up to the chance.
Absolutely.
Messing with those judges, because you will get screwed. Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that he won, but I'm definitely 118 to 110 or 119. That's ridiculous, man. That was just too wide of a gap, And so I really think that saying that they need to I think that Shelly Finkel, those guys, they played their hand wrong on this. And just like the call the other day when I was saying, hey, he needs to fight in Atlanta or somewhere else. I just feel like, hey, they should have overbid and overpaid Parker to fight here, so he had more of a play in his hand with the WBO belt. I'm talking about Wilder, that is, because now they're definitely going to hold his feet to the fire with that, because they're, like you say, well, just fight in London, like, they're gonna try to price him so far out
Well-
that he's gonna basically be fighting for scraps.
Well, let me say this. I mean, Tommy, I don't think there's a problem with Wilder going over there to the UK. Wilder already said he'll go over there to the UK and fight him.
True,
He doesn't
true.
mind fighting him. Me personally, I don't think that's a problem. I don't think that's a problem for Wilder to go over there in front of 100,000 people and fight Anthony Joshua. I mean, so yeah, I mean, I know he's going to have to submit to Anthony Joshua's demands. Matter of fact, that's why he didn't show up tonight. Ringside. That's why he didn't sit ringside, because once again, Anthony Joshua ordered to restrain Deontay Wilder.
That's true,
You know what I
but-
mean? So go ahead, Tommy.
Let me stop you on that. I
Go
agree
ahead.
with you 100%. But my thing is, Deontay Wilder had the belt before Joshua. Before Joshua.
Yeah, he did. He did.
Deontay Wilder, he's the
That's a
main
good point.
attraction. People come to see him. How many knockouts he got? He got knockouts.
Well, yeah, he knocked out everybody he done
Damn,
fought.
everybody he done fought.
Yeah.
Everybody is want to see Wilder, okay? He the main attraction. Right now, he the money man. You know something? It ain't no great money going to Great Britain, okay? I like Joshua as a fighter, but Deontay Wilder right now is the man. He's the heavyweight champion. You got to come to the
Not
U.S.
to mention,
And he's a beast.
Yeah, he'll be. You got to come to the U.S., okay? Either bring it or don't bring it. And Joshua got to bring it. Unified. He ain't unified. He ain't unified.
not to mention,
He ain't
not to
unified.
mention, Deontay Wilder possesses the most recognizable belt in the division, in the sport of boxing.
That's a
Yes.
good point. That's
I
a good
agree.
point.
Yes.
I agree.
That's the
But-
belt
but
that you
see,
want to get. You
Yeah.
want that
And
green
I-
strap.
But
And I agree with you. I'm not arguing any of those points. But like I said, if you Dante pointed out, like my man was avoiding the questions like a bad. He was saying he was just trying not to
Dancing
say Deontay
around.
Wilder's
Yeah,
name.
yeah.
He was trying to get out that ring without saying.
Without even mentioning his
So that
name.
further lets you know, right? So that further Hearn is the one that's doing all the talking. Matter of fact, my man couldn't even come up with an original trash talk. He had to say, "Hey, like Dillian White said, let's get
Like-
it."
like-
He couldn't
like
even
Dillian
come up
White
with his
said.
own.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Mhm,
he
mhm.
doesn't want that. And that's what I'm saying. Like, and that's why I said on the other day, when we were talking, Dante, I was like, hey, Deontay, I'm glad that you're doing these interviews to get your name out there and get the American public behind you, because I'm saying, like, when he's fighting the whole country, and Mayweather even said this back in his day when he was like, hey, I have to fight against countries. I don't have no backing. And you look at all these fighters from Great Britain. Oh, well, he did great for Britain, and I'm glad. And like, I'm glad he said this, and I'm glad he's talking about America and Britain. We don't have to go over there, and that's why I said, like, hey, we're going to have to raise this man's profile, in the sense of backing him, because
I agree.
he's quite clear on. I don't want. It's not about the money. It's about legacy.
Yeah.
And he will bring the fight with him. That's why I was like, when I was watching the fight, I was like, Parker's not going to win by waiting to pull the trigger. You have to go over there and take it. And even then, you might get screwed. But you have to go over there and take it. And that's why I hands off to Spence and Crawford and the guys like that, because they have that dog in them. And Wilder has it in him too, where, hey, I'm going to go over there and just take it. They're trying to go and knock you out. They're not playing.
And let me say this. Something else, this is chess, not checkers. We got to be smart with this too, because I think it's smarter for Deontay Wilder to just call Anthony Joshua's bluff. Don't say, I don't even think that, we should be putting too much focus or emphasis on, where they should fight, how much money should be, because then that's the excuse they start using. If a person doesn't want to fight Deontay Wilder, that's the excuse they're going to go with. I offered him a fight, but he didn't want to come to the UK, so he turned down the fight. You know what I mean? So, I mean, it's a thin line. It's a thin line, regardless if we think the fight should be here in the UK, in America, or it should be there in the UK. You know what I mean? But at the same time, if it's 100,000 fans, I mean, to me, I don't care if it's in South Africa, if it's in Mexico, 100,000 fans, watching a fight in the world, the whole boxing world watching the fight is a good look for the sport. So
I say let's put on
and another thing, man, that we got to keep doing, man. We got to keep making sure that everybody keeps a camera in this dude's face so they could keep contradicting themselves, so we could keep putting this pressure on them. Because you see, at the end of the fight, he said, "Oh, this is the UK. I'm tired of us having to go to America to have to prove ourselves. We don't have to do that. We can fight right here in our own backyard. We ain't got to go to Vegas." So let me ask you this question then, Anthony, because I wish I was interviewing him, because then I would have said to him, so let me ask you this question, Anthony, because Vladimir Klitschko is not from the States. You're not from the States, so why was your rematch going to take place in Las Vegas?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's a great point.
That's a
a
good
great
point.
But my point is, like I say,
Brother, I just want to say, hey, I if I'm being the betting man, he is going to try to fight Fury next. He's going to try to stall and make the fight with Fury.
Or Big Baby Miller.
He had no reason to bring up.
Yeah,
he had no reason to bring up Fury. Like, he's going to make it seem like, hey, well, that was the guy that was undefeated and had the belts first, and he was he's going to try to go that route, and they're going to try to push White on.
But let me tell you, did y'all catch the fact that Eddie Hearn towards the end? You see what Eddie Hearn said after Joshua said, "Listen, I'm not going to the States to fight." Eddie Hearn wouldn't commit to that. When they asked Eddie Hearn, they said, "Oh, so you guys won't go to the States and fight?" Eddie Hearn said, "I wouldn't say that. We'll go anywhere and fight." Why? Reason being because Eddie Hearn already had it. See, Anthony Joshua is killing the Big Baby Miller fighting right now because Eddie Hearn had plans for Joshua to come over here and fight Big Baby Miller in Brooklyn. So now, what Joshua's saying, he ain't going to come over here and fight nobody because he don't want to fight Wilder. Then how you going to come over here and fight somebody with the likes of Gerald Miller?
Mm-hmm. Man.
Right, that's killing Eddie Hearn's plan.
Sounds like to me he's scared.
The thing with that is worse me because Big Baby Miller made the comment on his last interview saying that he actually didn't want to fight Wilder nor Joshua until after they fight, because he said that with the politics of it, he said that more than likely a fighter would get screwed, so he'd rather get his he said, because he thought that Wilder should have been stopped in the 6th round during the Ortiz fight, and how Tecum got screwed being stopped. So he was like, he don't want any parts of that because it's too much money on the line for either one of them to lose right now.
Yeah.
So
and that's even more politics because I believe that Gerald Miller must have got the memo and said, "Listen, it ain't gonna happen."
Mm-hmm.
So that's what he's throwing out there because he pissed now.
Yeah. Hey.
Because he thought that.
Hey, 404, man. The phone lines are lit, man. I'm gonna get to another one, but thanks for calling in. All right, man. All right, take care, man.
All right, Pete.
All right, good stuff, man.
Right,
we got some informative callers, man. They know what it is. That's for sure. But hey, let's go to another one, man. Let's go ahead and go to another one. We got 917. What's going on? What's your name? Where you calling from, man?
What's good, man? My name is Mike from the Bronx. What's going on?
What's going on, Mike? The Bronx in the house? What's good? What's on your mind?
Chilling. Listen, my first time calling. Just want to give y'all some love. Y'all, I love your videos. You know what I'm saying? So peace and love to y'all.
Thank you.
Real
love
quick,
to the Bronx, man.
Real quick. Pay attention to the terminology and the words being used, and just the body language. AJ made a point out his trinket, his belt. He made a point to start a narrative or to continue a narrative of this is what we're doing. We have the titles, we have the money, we have the audience, we have the residual, we are comfortable with what we have and this is what we value. So this is what they're saying to you. But Wilder has told you time and time again, yo, it ain't about that for you. It's about just unifying and being the man.
Being the best. He just want to prove he's the best.
Being the best.
Mm-hmm.
So they're talking.
No, I'm talking. He's on Wilder.
Wilder is talking sport. Wilder is talking primal sport, primal man against man. Who's on top? No pause, of course. But who is that dude? And AJ is following Eddie's narrative of the nonsense. Now my thing is, if you a man's man, why are you talking about Fury? Why are you talking? Fury is 2.5 years removed from the sport.
Who's not a champion?
Thank God he's not a champion. I mean, thank God on the first level he's healthy now.
Scarface, yeah, Scarface.
Yeah, we're assuming that he's mentally capable right now and no longer abusing coke. But he's 2.5 years removed. He still needs at least two tune-ups, maybe 2.
Mm-hmm.
You know, let's be fair. You know, that's not gonna happen, bro. Stop pushing the narrative back. Like what are you doing?
Yeah.
So we already know the narrative. The narrative is set. Let's push Wilder as far back because he's dangerous. Now on Wilder's side, I'm proud of Wilder because this week he made silent media pushing. He went on Boomer and Gio. He went on the Breakfast Club. He did Yacht Show. He's been going around. Doing his thing on the media side. What he got to do now is he has to tell Steve Espinosa, hey, yo, guys, no more Showtime. I need CBS. I need to do a CBS fight. I need 5, 6, 7 million people in my, watch me fight. I need to go on Ellen. I need to be in white folks' face. I need to push myself forward where they can no longer say, "Oh, he's not big enough. He's not big enough." You know what I'm saying?
You got to remember he fought on CBS a couple of times already.
Yeah, but
Exactly.
that's something. But one thing though, U.S. heavyweights were the best round for years. Were the best for years, and we've been waiting for a moment for a person, American, to be a heavyweight that we can look up to.
My bad, man.
And here come Deontay Wilder,
Word.
and he lived up to that standard.
Absolutely. Hey, 917, I appreciate your call, man. We're gonna get to another one. All right, Bronx.
Thanks, brother.
All right, boogie down.
All right, take care, man. Hey, let me go ahead and go to the super chat section. I need to go ahead and introduce some new lieutenants in the DBN Army. These are the most important people. I appreciate y'all. Y'all keep the tank moving. And my man, shout out to my man Rayshawn Smith. I actually already shouted you out earlier in the show, but I want to go ahead once again. You were one of the first people I shouted out. Once again, man, let me go ahead and shout him out. Ohio runs boxing. Rayshawn Smith, once again, like I said, I read your question when you asked about the African caller. You said, I just want that African guy to call back in from yesterday, talking about AJ playing possum, #bomb squad. Shout out to the lieutenant of the DBN Army, another lieutenant, Julio L. He said, Joshua, decent fighter, okay fighter, basic, no special effects on this fight, nothing like that. New media, #bomb squad. Rayshawn Smith again, I appreciate you, family. He said one of AJ's mandatories is the CEO of Mexican Meat. He said Mondo. I thought he was saying short for mandatory, but he said one of AG's Mandos is CEO of Mexican Meat. Povetkin may be too tough for him. He may try to fight Price Low. DW wanted that Russian smoke though. That's what. And Rayshawn wasn't finished. He donated again, and he said, he said, don't forget my super chat from earlier, DBN. No, I ain't forgot about you, family. So, man, they going in, man. I mean, and somebody said, and before I take another call, I want to address this because someone in the comment section, they said, "Shut up, Wilder Nation," right? So
That's somebody from Great Britain.
Listen, man.
That's somebody from Great Britain.
Yeah, I want you guys to call in because if we Wilder Nation, then that means the reporter that interviewed Anthony Joshua is Wilder Nation because he kept asking questions about Wilder.
He sounded Great Britain to me.
Why y'all want us to shut up? Why y'all want us to shut up? Why y'all want to suppress this message? Y'all don't like boxing? Y'all don't want to see the biggest fights in the sport? What kind of ridiculous mess is that?
Somebody else said that we don't understand the fact that why he called out Tyson Fury is because it's a rivalry.
Hey, tell him to call in.
We don't understand that. Why you calling out Tyson Fury where Tyson Fury is inactive? Tyson Fury just came out and said that he's going to have a fight in June, and then he's looking to fight Shannon Briggs in September. So what are you talking about?
Damn.
That's not making sense. Hey, and I see somebody in the comment section. He said, I want to call in, but I'm in the UK. You could call in. We get fans calling from all around the world. We get UK people to call in all the time. So you could call in. Make sure you go ahead and call in. Just get the country code right and everything.
Hey,
and if that don't work, get yourself a calling card.
This all good, healthy talk. Good, healthy talk.
Man, we need. Don't use them excuses. Don't use them excuses. We want. I want someone to call in if you feel that we mistreating Anthony Joshua or we said anything that logically didn't make sense. We want you guys to call in. They always in the comment section, Tommy. Yeah. They always in the comment section. They the first to comment. But now we got the phone lines open. They never want to call in.
I call those internet gangsters.
Yeah.
They go talk the talk on the internet, but they don't want to call and talk.
Yeah. They got their little bandana wrapped around their mouth.
Gangsters.
You know, they see walking before they get on the keyboard. I know. I already know how it goes. You know, yeah, man. Their fingers is ready to go to war, boy. They doing good talk. They doing keyboard type buys. They ain't doing walk buys. They doing type buys. You know what I mean?
They got their fingers are tattooed with bandanas.
You know what? Hey, you know what
I won't deny it.
You know what it is? I bet you they work for Donald Trump.
He said Donald Trump.
Donald Trump.
Hey, them Donald Trump supporters, they a lot more verbal though. They a lot more verbal though.
They can text.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true.
They can text.
That's true. They'll overwhelm you with some decaf mess on Facebook and Instagram and all kind of stuff. You know, man. Yeah, man. We know what it is, man.
If you're scared, say you're scared.
You know why Donald Trump supporters are more
or go to church, right, Kelly?
Or go to church.
Donald Trump supporters are more verbal because their leader make them feel comfortable.
Of course.
AJ ain't making these fans. He ain't making his fans feel too comfortable.
Excellent point. Excellent point. His fans is like, damn, man. You know, we trying, AJ, but you ain't giving us no rope, man. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? We drowning over here for you. Yeah. You ain't pulling us out the water.
But the thing about it, though, doing thing about it, Great Britain, they are some respectable people.
Well, they're definitely loyal. They're definitely loyal.
They love their fighters.
And that's one thing I always admired about them. They are loyal.
They loyal to their fighters.
And they don't care what color their fighters are. They loyal to their fighters. They don't care the color, whatever. They loyal to this man got an African tattoo, you know, the continent of Africa tattooed on him, and they loyal as hell to him. So I admire that about them. But come on, y'all. Sometimes you just got to tell the goddamn truth. Yeah. You know what I mean? Sometimes you got to tell the truth.
You know what it is? It's like the media over there, like you said, they're getting tired of it, and it's like, yo, listen, man, defend us already, do something. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, they getting tired of it, man. Listen, we going to war with the state media back and forth, and you over here ain't giving us nothing. Deontay on any and everything, giving us this fuel. Mm-hmm. He letting us know. Listen, I'm going out there for blood. Y'all can you listen. Y'all can back me all y'all want, because I don't care if it's in the States. I don't care if it's over there. I don't care if it's in the graveyard. I don't care if it's in the. He don't care where it's taking place.
Yeah,
he won his head.
And he don't care if it's high risk, low reward, because he did not have to fight against Luis King Kong Ortiz, who is just as dangerous, if not more dangerous, than an Anthony Joshua opponent.
They could put him on a USS battleship in the ocean. People will still come see the fight.
They're gonna still see the fight, no matter where the fight is at. They're gonna see it.
They're gonna see
and that is a fight that, like you said, no matter where it's at, even if it is in the States. You know, I mean, they could build a 50,000 seat arena. Honestly, I think it would sell, because not only that, the UK fans will come over here, just like they came over here for Ricky Hatton.
They come to my backyard.
Yes, anywhere.
They come to my backyard and fight.
I don't mean to interrupt you, but I go back to some of the greatest fighters that I ever seen in my life, and one of them is Muhammad Ali. Mm-hmm. He went to Manila. He wasn't scared. He didn't.
But care. He drove to people's house. He drove to the front yard with horns and was calling them out. Yeah. Come on, you big bear. Yeah. You know, and all that kind of stuff.
And just like he talked it, he walked
it. Oh, excellent point. Y'all listening to my man Cali King. Cali Cal.
That's Cali Cal.
We got Uncle Tommy over here, and we got Cali Cal. They came from Cali, you know, so that's what it is. Hey, let me introduce another lieutenant riding in that DBN tank. Let me introduce to you guys Marcus Powell, showing that love in the super chat section. I appreciate the donation, family. So that's what it is, man. But yeah, man, I really want somebody, like I said, from the UK to call in, but they won't do it because they know deep down what we saying logically makes too much sense. It's just hurting their damn ears to hear it. That's the problem. You know what I mean? It's hurting their ears to hear. You know, this truth is like kryptonite to them. So, but anyway, let's go ahead. The phone lines are lit. Let's take another call. We got 313. What's your name? Where you calling from, man?
What up, though? It's Jay Johnson calling from the west side of Detroit.
All right.
Motown.
D-Town. What's going
Hey.
I love it, man.
Motown. Hey, brother. Shout out to the McCoys. Those are my people out there.
Okay.
The McCoys.
The McCoys.
That's fam.
That's what's up.
That's what's up.
What's on your mind, Detroit?
Man, I agree with everything y'all saying with AJ, so I'm not even going to beat a dead horse because he's trash in real life. But I really want y'all to know because in 3 weeks, Adrian Broner is about to fight, and if he loses this fight, is it over for Adrian Broner?
It's already over.
We've been saying that for the longest. You know the narrative is always the same with AB. The narrative is always the same. If he loses this fight, it's over.
Yeah.
If he loses this fight, it's over.
Right
if
now, it ain't about billions. It's about done.
It's about
stick a fork.
It's AD. The boy, you saying the boy got to change his last name to AD? God damn. God damn. Yeah, well, you know what?
I personally think that even if he win this fight, you know, he got so much damage control to do. He would have to at least go on a 3-4 fight winning streak, man. To get back in there.
I mean, now it's just honestly now it's just basically, you know, just paying the bills basically. You know, now it's I mean, if Adrian Broner, if he don't start winning, then it's just, you know, let me go to work and, you know, clock in and go back home. You know, it ain't even about being the best anymore.
It ain't.
So yeah. And you know what? In a certain way, and I don't mean this in a negative way, but I'm kind of glad in a certain sense that Jamal Charlo came out and said what he said, because I hope that's motivation. I hope that's motivation to Adrian Broner. Because for another boxer to come out and say, man, I'm a curse to Adrian Broner. Every time I'm on this damn card, he lose. And, you know, I'm going to do my part. You know, I don't know if he gonna do his for another fighter to say this.
Shout out to the Charlo,
you know,
man.
Yeah, you can't.
And then he said every time I'm on his card, they always make it black versus Mexican. He said everybody else do their part and he don't do his part.
That's
you know. But to my surprise, though, you know, I was surprised. I mean, maybe this showed maturity because he never responded. We know Tank responded, but AB never responded. So maybe.
But it's more pressure. But it's more. Yeah.
Hey, bro,
what I'm noticing in the boxing, it's a bunch of big names, but not a lot of skilled fighters. And I think in 2018, 2019, that's about to be exposed. Because honestly, Keith Thurman, as great as we think he is, he don't really got great wins. We got Sean Porter, which I don't think can fight at all. He just rough out tactics. And Danny Jacobs, which I think he got a lucky left hook. Besides them 2 wins, like he an average basic fighter, and we giving him way too much props and way too much credit. Give him up them belts this strap season. Give him the Earl Spence.
All day.
I got to disagree with you as far as.
Hey, brother,
I got to disagree with you as far as
Hey, brother, can you hold
Keith
a minute?
not being
Can you hold 1 minute?
I mean,
hold on,
Go ahead, Tommy, real quick. Go ahead, Tommy.
That's like he's saying. Adrian Broner need to go on a 5-6 game winning streak.
Yeah,
That's just like me trying to take Kim Kardashian from Kanye West. It ain't gonna happen.
Ain't gonna happen.
Ain't gonna happen.
Hey, Blue.
Ain't gonna happen.
Blue, go ahead, Blue.
I think that I got to disagree with you as far as I think Keith Thurman have skills. You know, he's shown that he can make adjustments in the ring to different types of fighters. You know. So I think that he has skills, you know, and he definitely has power because you got to remember, in the most of his career was knockouts, and then once he stepped his game up, he wasn't getting a knockout, but he made adjustments to outbox these fighters, you know. So he fought Danny Garcia different than he fought Sean Porter. So I think that he have skills.
He definitely has skills.
Sean Porter's not.
He definitely has skills.
He got a bum.
Sean Porter's not an easy victory because he makes every fight ugly. Every fight is ugly with Sean Porter. You know, you saw the fight where and not to put Andre Berto on the same level as Keith Thurman, but you know, Andre Berto has a skill set. He's athletic. He has speed. You know, but just his tactics and the way he fought, that fight was one of the most ugliest fights you could ever see. But the skill set of Keith Thurman, that nullified a lot of the roughhouse, ugly tactics. Because even if you look at Sean Porter fight when he fought Kell Brook, Kell Brook had to hold him most of the time. Keith Thurman didn't do a lot of holding. He did a lot of countering, off the ropes, whether it was in the middle of the ring, whether it was off the ropes. So he showed that he have a lot of skill set. I just don't know if he have the want to and the will anymore to take on somebody like an Errol Spence today's time.
That's a good question. It ain't the want, it ain't the will. It's like Errol Spence is made for Keith Thurman. Cause Spence go work the body. Thurman do not like body work at all. At all.
I mean,
and that's why he don't want to fight Spence.
I mean, it's a lot of intangibles in that fight.
It is.
I mean, the southpaw, and Collazo was a southpaw as well too.
Yeah.
And you have Errol Spence who's a southpaw as well, but he could fight on the inside and on the outside, but he could do it responsibly without getting caught with too many shots. He's not sloppy. He's consistent.
Yeah, he
is. And
then,
I'm gonna tell you, I got to watch.
Then again, how many times have you seen Errol Spence back up? He don't. He coming forward.
Yeah, but even if he does back up, it don't matter because he knows how to fight on his back foot, though.
He do.
Tommy, I went out there, man, and shout out to Spence and the Charlos. They gave me all access, and I watched Charlo spar Errol Spence. And let me just tell you, man,
Canelo stopped running.
It was
Triple
very.
G stopped running. Fight the Charlo.
That ain't gonna happen. That ain't gonna. Golovkin. We'll get into that. We'll get into that too. We'll get into that. We got a lot to talk about. The wall's closing in on Golovkin.
Yeah.
Now, real quick, we jumping all over the place, but I gotta say it since you brought it up. Charlo is the mandatory for Golovkin. Danny Jacobs about to fight Zaleski. If he wins that fight, he's the mandatory for Golovkin.
He gonna beat him this
Andrade versus Darren Yevchenko. The winner of that fight, mandatory for Gennady Golovkin. And then you got BJ Saunders.
Yeah.
Man, it is a hard life
the Triple G.
for Golovkin.
A lot of ass whooping coming up.
But he may retire. He may retire, Tommy.
He's gonna retire.
I can't see it. He either going to 168 or he's retiring. And this is one of them predictions I hope to God I get wrong. That'll be a treat for me to be wrong on this one because I would love to see him get in there with one of them. Now, we know when he had Rubio, Marco Antonio Rubio, Adama, Willie Monroe, Andrade, David Lemieux, he had no problem fighting them guys when they were number one. They didn't even have to be number one. Rubio wasn't even the number one. He just said, I want to fight him. You know what I mean? So now that you got these damn sharks swimming around that little raft, let's see if he's going to jump in the water. Let's see.
Everybody trying to take a bite.
And did you see Demetrius Andrade said something on, I think it was on Twitter or Instagram, but he said that Triple G informed his team, his team informed all the fighters that if the Canelo fight doesn't push through, he's going to keep the date, but he's not going to fight a southpaw.
He's not going to fight a southpaw. What does that mean? So that just means he's not going to fight against who's the southpaws at middleweight?
That eliminates Andrade and Saunders.
Andrade. Okay, which is you just brought up Andrade. But outside of that, I mean, the statement almost suggests that it's a whole bunch of southpaws out there. When the way he states.
He said that he won't fight a southpaw on a short notice, and it's a short notice. So that pretty much eliminates Saunders and Andrade.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I'm forgetting that Saunders is a southpaw too. That means Danny Jacobs or Charlo.
Yeah.
That's what that means.
Like I say, some of these boxers treat these belts like wives, and they don't want to lose them.
Yeah.
And to me, Demetrius Andrade, he one the best complete middleweight fighters out there. He can probably beat everybody in the middleweight division.
Oh man, and Andrade beat a lot of these fighters, especially in the amateurs.
Hand down.
He one of them fighters. A lot of
they running from him.
Yeah. A lot of fighters. They weren't the same fighters as an amateur as they are as a pro. Andrade is just as good, if not better. And when he was in the amateurs, he beat a lot of these top name fighters that we heard today, that we know today. So there's no doubt about it. Yeah, he's not going to fight Andrade, but once again, man.
Thing, if you look at it, this too, it narrows down to somebody that we don't see coming, because guess what? Danny Jacobs is headlining this card April 28th. He's the headline. So April 28th, he ain't going to turn around and fight May 5th.
Well,
That's a week later.
But see, this is the thing, though. What can happen is they could go ahead and scratch that fight, and he could just fight the week later since he already has a fight scheduled. Just like when Wilder, when he didn't have an opponent, I forget who had pulled out, and then Gerald Washington was supposed to fight on the undercard, if I'm not mistaken, right? And then they all of a sudden they pulled him up, and they had him on the main event. I know this is a little different because they was fighting on the same card, but a week apart, I think HBO would
But the thing with that is, though, Danny Jacobs is the headline for that Brooklyn card.
Yeah, but I mean, but we got to look at what would be bigger, though. I mean,
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, what would be bigger? And once again, both fights are on HBO. So what makes more financial sense for HBO right now? And I think they taking a killing because with Canelo and all this damn contaminated meat and him failing this drug test, that messed up everybody because HBO is not even promoting the fight till April 18th. That's 2 weeks before the fight. How you promote a fight 2 weeks? How you promote a pay-per-view fight? And this is the biggest fight on HBO. This is the biggest fight of the year. They only have 2 fights scheduled. And now their biggest fight is going down like a plane crash right now. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm just wondering. I really wonder. It's going to be interesting, man. I got my popcorn with extra butter. I'm over here just watching this damn movie because I can't wait to see, the sequel come out April 18th when that news come out on what's going to happen.
Yeah, man.
Hey, like that.
That's gonna be real interesting, man. It's almost like HBO is throwing in the white towel, man.
Something with Canelo. That is De La Hoya cash cow. That's his last hope. Canelo lose that belt, De La Hoya, he finna leave. He ain't got nothing else. His stable is gone. Floyd basically took all the belts from De La Hoya in the stable. And Canelo, that's his last hope. He lose that, he done.
Absolutely.
What he gonna do?
Absolutely. Yeah.
The golden boy.
Yeah, no doubt about it. We're going to take another call, man. Here, let me go ahead once again and give an extra shout out to one of my lieutenants in the tank, my man Ray Sean Smith, showing more love in the super chat section. He said Abel going to be looking at the Mandos like Rocky looked at Rocky 3 when he walked into Apollo Gym for the first time and seen all the black fighters. Y'all something else. And then he said, don't forget my South Carolina. Is that SC? SC and finish that sparring story. What's that he's talking about right here? Don't forget my SC and finish that sparring story. Okay, well you fill us in on that one right there. But anyway, man, like I said, they going in, and right now I gotta say, man, that's the way it is looking. That's a great reference and analogy, Ray Sean, because that's kind of what I envision. Golovkin going into this gym, seeing all these black fighters, and like, I don't remember seeing these dudes here in the division. Last time I turned around, it was Lemieux, it was Adama, it was other black fighters, but they wasn't no Charlos, they wasn't no Andrades, they wasn't no damn Jacobs when it come to a rematch. So yeah, man. We once again we just speaking facts, man. We'll see. That's another good movie that I'm waiting for is the news on who Golovkin will fight, even if he does fight Canelo. Who does he fight next? Man, that's gonna be interesting. And Blue, like you said, is gonna be something we don't see coming. It's gonna be, but it'll be extremely difficult to justify. Just like it's gonna be hard for Anthony Joshua to justify him not fighting against your boy Wilder next. It'll be very difficult for him to justify not fighting against one of the top fighters, especially when they're the mandatories. So yeah, my
phone going dead. Go get my charger.
No. Go ahead. I had you. Go ahead. What did you say?
No, my phone going dead. So my boy go get my charger.
All good. So hey, man, like I said, the phone line's lit right now. We are hour and 20 minutes in. Let me see. Yeah, you know what? I just took a glimpse at the comments right now. My man said, read them comments, man. We over here multitasking like y'all, like nobody business. Y'all just don't know, man. We going back and forth, talking to everybody. And you know what? I will read some of these comments. Let me see what y'all talking about over here. Yeah, he was talking about the sparring story. Okay, that's why he said read the comments, because my man just explained what let me try to scroll up real quick. Oh, okay. He talking about the Charlo sparring stories. Okay. I got you. Okay, yeah, I'm glad y'all did tell me. I take a glimpse at the comments, every once in a while. I try to do it as often as I can because, like I said, I'm moving and grooving over here, y'all. I'm juggling, it's going down. But anyway, yeah, he said tell us stories about the Charlo Errol Spence sparring, and yeah, I know I can't talk too much about that. Because if I talk about that, then I can't tell y'all about the next time they sparred. All I can tell y'all is it was extremely competitive, and both fighters raised their level. Something I will say about Errol Spence is he showed, man, his defense is impeccable. There was one time I will share this. There was one time when Spence was sparring and he was against the ropes, and Charlo was throwing punches up, down, up, down. Charlo was looking really good in there, and it was one point when Errol Spence was avoiding every single punch, blocking the body shots, blocking the head shots, and doing it with little effort. And I was just really impressed, because the way he was blocking body shots the way people slip head shots. And once again, I mean, I just wasn't used to seeing, Errol on the ropes. But once again, man, Jamel, excuse me, he raised his level. He looked extremely impressive. Errol Spence looked extremely impressive. But yeah, I took away from that, they were both on a different level. And this is why we've seen such a progression with Jamel Charlo, because he's in there with an animal like Errol Spence. So, that's all I could really share on that right there, at least for now. But matter of fact, speaking of that, we're going to have Errol Spence trainer on the show, the radio show. This is just the live show we're doing right here. We do the actual radio show tomorrow. So if you guys like what we're doing here, you definitely don't want to miss the radio show tomorrow, 6 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, 9 o'clock Eastern. All right, we'll have, once again, full panel, and special guest should be Errol Spence trainer, Derek James. We'll let him talk about that sparring session, and he'll get his thoughts on Canelo and even Keith Thurman. His thoughts on Keith Thurman. Once again, the report surfacing that Keith Thurman is injured, which it looks like it's more likely, that it's a fact, that he is. But I'm just waiting for the announcement. So that's what it is. Here, let me see here. Let me scroll down here real quick.
Hey, shout out to Brianna, Dante model. You in LA?
Brianna,
hit me up.
One of the DBN models.
Hit me up. I'm in LA. Hit me up.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to introduce you, man. To Brianna, man. Shout out to Brianna and the DBN Angels, man. Shout out to all of y'all.
Ain't nothing can hit me up.
Yeah, okay.
No problem.
He said, you sure you don't mind?
I don't mind.
You sure you don't mind her coming to the house and hanging with you?
No, I
it ain't a problem?
It ain't no problem.
All right, man, because I don't want her harassing you, and I don't want you to blame me on her harassing you.
Ain't no problem.
I don't want you putting no restraining orders on her now. You know what I'm saying?
Ain't nothing can hit me up. I'm always available.
All right, man. All right, y'all heard it. I ain't gonna be responsible, Tommy.
Ain't no love like Cali love.
I hand it over, and I ain't got nothing to do with it, Tommy. I ain't got nothing to do with it. Okay. Yeah. Good. What you say, Cali?
Talk about boxing.
He said back to boxing. He said back to boxing. Yeah, man, you messing up the whole flow. Okay. I'm forgetting what we over here supposed to be talking about. I'm forgetting what the show is all about now. God damn.
I don't.
Hey, let's go. Hey, let's take another call, man. We having too much fun. We gonna open up. We gonna go back to the phone lines. We got 347. What's your name? Where you calling from, man?
Can you hear me?
I hear you loud and clear, man.
Can you hear me, Dante?
All day. What's up, man?
Okay, what's good? This is the passive student. Shout out to Dante's Boxing Nation. Shout out to Boxing Ego. Shout out to the LDVC. Y'all the Trinity of Boxing right now on YouTube.
I appreciate it, man. All day.
First and foremost, I think the fight with Joshua and Parker was a bit sluggish. Joshua didn't show any separation against Parker. He didn't have any head movement, which didn't make any sense to me why the scorecards were in that wide margin. I don't understand what's going on with the champions these days. If you compare, when I think of a champion, I think of a champion that knows how to show separation against top quality opposition. When you look at, and this is just stating the obvious, but when you look at Floyd's record, and you see how, as he was more in the latter part of his career, he was fighting against top names and making them look like cherry picks.
Mm-hmm.
That he was showing separation and showing what it means to be a true champion. He wasn't like he was picking. He was on top and he was picking real difficult names to compete with. Mm-hmm. He wasn't cherry picking like Rod Salkers, for example. And this is no heat to Danny Garcia. I love what Danny Garcia do in the ring. I'm just trying to make a point. Anthony Joshua, Canelo Alvarez, and Keith Thurman are making those A class fighters look bad. Okay, we need these three guys, in my opinion, to get dethroned because I just hate the way that they're comporting themselves as champions. You understand what I'm saying? Eddie Hearn is a fucking snake. You feel me? I think that during the fight when Joshua was, when they took that long break about his rats, that shit was on purpose, in my opinion. We just need that separation. We just need champions that actually know how to conduct themselves like champions. They need to make their money, but respect the legacy aspect of boxing.
Man,
that was good.
Preach.
That was good.
Preach.
But
pass the plate out, man.
Listen, but on the same thing about that, okay? Everybody hate Floyd. Why? Because he cocky, arrogant, good. Yeah, he is. But I was listening to Larry Holmes on the Jim Rohn show about a couple weeks ago. He told Jim Rohn, the object in boxing is to hit and not be hit, okay? And that's what Floyd did. And people hate him for that. No, he out there doing his crap. He was born to do that. He ain't trying to get hit.
Yeah, and let me also say this. Let me go on. Also add on to what you just said. Once again, I mean, you made a very, very important point that people need to pay attention to. The type of opponents that Floyd Mayweather was fighting, people don't understand this. Yeah. He was beating the type of opponents back then that fighters would avoid today. They wouldn't be quick to get in the ring with. And like you just said, he was getting in there like they were just another opponent. When he fought against Gennaro Hernandez was the lineal champion. He was pound for pound one of the best fighters in the world. HBO, they shook their head and said, the word you just used, Tommy, look at the arrogance of this guy, Floyd Mayweather, to think he can get in there with a lineal champion with only 17 fights. They are so arrogant and cocky. Then he came right back and he fought Angel Man Freddy. Once again, people don't realize how relevant, significant, and how good of the what the level that these fighters were on at the time. Angel Man Freddy was a big deal back then. He was the first person to stop Arturo Gatti. Yeah. And once again, HBO said the same thing. They said the arrogance of this guy to turn right back around and fight somebody like Manfredi. And these are just these are not even the Corrales I'm talking about.
Made him look like an amateur.
So
just to piggyback, my bad, Dante.
Go ahead. Jump on it.
Just to piggyback off of what you're saying, this is pretty boy Floyd you talking about right here. Mm-hmm. This ain't Floyd Money Mayweather in the latter part of his career. Mm-hmm. In the latter part of his career, he was taking out Hall of Famers and making it look like it was nothing. Yeah. But just to get away from Floyd a little bit, I wanted to just piggyback off of what you were saying with Errol Spence and his defense. Because I work at a boxing gym as a coach. And there are many aspects of defense. It's not just slipping punches. Absolutely. It's not just shoulder roll like all these fucking casuals be coming out trying to speak like they know so much about. There's many looks to defense. If you have more than one tool, you always gonna if you utilize any tool in defense and you do it well, you're going to be spectacular in the ring. Errol Spence is not like the Floyd Mayweather kind of fighter. Mm-hmm. He likes to engage, but he's very tactical about his engagement. Look at Mike McCollum, for instance. Mike McCollum, in my opinion, is one of my top 5 fighters, and he engaged he engaged defense in a somewhat similar way to an Errol Spence, where he engaged you, but he was always catching and slipping and staying in the pocket in there with you. And on top of that, you compare those kind of fighters in Errol Spence, Mike McCollum, Floyd Mayweather, and how they acted as champions, and look at Joshua's performance today. Joshua, I thought Parker won the fight. I had a 7-5 for Parker. Joshua, in my opinion, he didn't move his head. You know, every time Parker got in the inside and was giving Joshua work, there was some suspect shit going on with the ref, always stopping Parker's momentum. And you're going to sit here and tell me that if Ortiz were to fight against Joshua, if he would have fought against Joshua, he would have no momentum whatsoever? He would just be another washed-up old man that Joshua could beat up on? Fuck out of here. Ortiz will give... I'm sorry.
Tag me back in. Yeah. All right, so let me go ahead.
Go ahead, Dante. Go ahead.
Let me go ahead and jump on that, man. I'm gonna have to jump on that. Now, something else. You know how you say Errol Spence and Floyd Mayweather are different fighters, but one thing that they do share is no matter what level of competition they're in there with, they still fight with the same level of confidence.
Yes.
Like when Errol Spence, when Anthony Joshua. Like you said, when Anthony Joshua fought against tonight against Joseph Parker, we kind of seen a different Anthony Joshua. When Golovkin fought against Kell Brook, when he fought, I'm just being real, when he fought against Danny Jacobs, when he fought against Canelo, it didn't look like the same Golovkin that fought against Wade, and Adama and Rubio. So that's the one thing I will say. And the difference with Floyd is, we do still have to remember Floyd jumped up 5 weight classes compared to Errol Spence, so it is a little bit more understandable. He'll use more intelligence than, brute force, even though you're right, he was never like a brute force, just come forward, fighter, but he was knocking everyone out in the smaller weight classes, you know what I mean? Yeah. And once again, what he knocked out, if you compare Anthony Joshua in the ring with Joseph Parker compared to Floyd in there with Corrales, who was the boogeyman at the time. You know what I'm saying? He was you say Corrales' name 5 times in the mirror, he might come out and do something. You know what I mean? He was a scary man at the time. And Floyd knocked him out. He didn't beat him. And Corrales had a Margarito chin. Yeah. Corrales had just fought Robert Garcia. Robert Garcia was a beast at the time. He was an undefeated champion. Yeah, Robert hit this man with the kitchen sink.
One thing about
Corrales just smiled at him and walked forward like Margarito does.
He ran from Floyd, though, Robert Garcia.
Oh, yeah, Robert wasn't in a hurry to fight Floyd, though. Yeah, he wasn't in a hurry to fight Floyd.
He retired real quick.
Yeah, but he got knocked out by Corrales, too, so it was really no reason for him to fight.
But the thing about Floyd, you got to remember, Floyd, when he got hit with the right hand, he thought he had to make.
He ain't gonna get hit with it again.
He made adjustments on the fly.
Yeah, on the fly. You hit him with that right hand. You hit him with the right hand about 2 or 3 times. Yeah. He probably won't get hit with it again.
No.
And that's the difference. A lot of fighters, they'll keep making the same mistakes. They don't make the adjustments.
That's why he's one of the best.
Hey, Dante, can I just say one more thing?
Yeah, and I gotta hurry and get to another call, bro. But go ahead, man.
All right, man. So check it out. Another last thing that I want to say is this fucking Floyd Mayweather blueprint that all these motherfuckers is trying to replicate. Let me tell you something. All these dudes, in my opinion, Canelo, Joshua, these motherfuckers is doing it all the fucking way wrong. All the fucking way wrong. Look at what Floyd Mayweather did in the latter. I'm not going on Pretty Boy Floyd. I'm going on the latter part of Floyd Mayweather.
Money Floyd.
He was fighting back-to-back top-level competition who are going to be in the Hall of Fame. He wasn't, and he's the A side, picking the fight, giving the offers away. And on top of that, he's beating them effortlessly. Canelo, Maidana twice. If you compare
20 pounds bigger, 14 years younger. Yeah, go ahead.
Exactly my point. If you compare how Floyd Mayweather was working his structure or his blueprint to how Joshua and these dudes, Canelo, are doing, they are doing it completely fucking wrong. It doesn't make any sense. Fight the big fight. That's how we are going to remember you. Because you froze everybody. You picked everyone. Shout out to you, Dante's Boxing Nation. Shout out to New Media. Shout out to the LDBC. Shout out to Boxing Eagle. You guys are the Trinity of Boxing. One.
I appreciate it, man.
Hey, brother, man.
He gone. He gone, Tommy. He gone already. But you could go ahead. And give your thoughts.
Before I go, he just said about Floyd. Floyd in 50. I love 50. He want to put out there and say, "Oh well, Floyd can't read." I don't give a damn. Floyd can count.
Yeah, that's
go to the bank. Okay.
I
love them both.
I think
he can count.
I think 50 regret that statement though, man, because he kind of, but it also kind of made you know him somewhat of a target too when he said that.
Yeah,
I think 50 kind of regret that that statement that he made against Floyd Mayweather. But what was you about to say, Blue?
And Floyd, what made Floyd so great, man? He split his career directly in half, and there's two different fighters.
Yeah.
And he dominated in two different ways, in what you could really say in two different eras.
Absolutely. And hey, I want to read this my man, because he really wanted this comment to be read. I appreciate anybody donating to me. My man Drew, he disagrees, and he's basically saying, he said Floyd ran from Paul Williams and Margarito, and then he said Berto, Guerrero, and Maidana are not Hall of Famers. One quick question I would love to ask Drew. And see, I want to open up the phone lines because it's too easy to just post stuff, and not have the conversation. I would love to open up the phone lines. So my man Drew, and don't worry, we ain't gonna hurt you. You know what I mean? It's just boxing talk.
We just gonna talk about it. We ain't gonna hurt you. We just gonna talk about it.
So just call in, man, and let me know in the comment section. I'm looking at the comment section right now. Put your area code in the comment section, and we will wait. We have a moment. We have a moment of silence, and we'll just sit over here and wait for about 5 to 10 seconds to see if you respond in the comment section. But the one question I will ask once again, man, it's kind of like when you're making this comparison. Who are we comparing Floyd Mayweather to? That's always the question, because it's like if Usain Bolt, if he wins a race, right? Let's say he wins today, and then he wins tomorrow, and then you say, oh yeah, but when he won today, he didn't run as fast as he did yesterday. See, y'all talking about he all fast and all that. I know he won the race, but he didn't beat his own time. How come he can't beat his own time? He got first place, but how come he can't get 2 or 3 seconds faster?
Because he ain't the same.
Okay, 323. He said he gonna call in. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. I'm gonna let my man call in. 323. I'm looking for you. Okay, he put 323 in the comment section. I'm looking to see. I'm waiting to see if he's gonna call in. Give me a second, guys. Just give me one quick second. We waiting for 323. My man Drew to call in. I love when they call in, man. This when it get real hot and spicy. We waiting for you, Drew. We done put the whole show on pause for you, Drew. He ain't called in yet. We waiting, Drew. Okay. All right. I'm gonna wait. But we'll go ahead and keep talking though. Your thoughts, Tommy. So your thoughts on? Let me see. Is this it? No. Okay. Hold on, real quick. Let me go ahead and bring my man. Let me bring my man in real quick. Hey, Reggie. What's going on, man? I got another. One of my regular call-ins. What's going on, man? So he trying to make your 323 look bad, man, because he said he 323. Reggie, what's on your mind, Reg?
He probably from Beverly Hills or the Valley.
323. 323 is a long range, right, Tommy?
No, you probably on downtown Skid Row. No. He downtown on Skid Row.
On Skid Row.
He hit the phone booth. He hit the phone booth.
I want to give you your props for yesterday's show. I was in my meeting yesterday, and I wanted to I was sneaking in, tuning in, but man, that's some dope shit right there. And also with that, Dante done changed the whole perspective of his career and his stardom. His stardom rose. He's the biggest name in that goddamn division. Anthony, after this performance, his stardom, the light done went dead on that shit.
Hey,
and he's pressured into taking this fight. The roles are reversed. Like,
absolutely. And Deontay Wilder and okay. And I think my man 323 called in, so I appreciate you calling in. We're gonna get to the other 323. That's Drew, I think.
Shout
right
out
there.
To Drew.
Shout out to Drew, I appreciate him manning up. I'm gonna take his call in a minute, but I just want to say something real quick on Deontay Wilder. On Deontay Wilder, he made a really good point when he said, "I'm in a win-win situation." He said, "Look, everybody talking about me. The big story is they don't want me to show up. Eddie Hearn keep talking about me." And then on top of that, once again, they open up the telecast with a story on who? On Deontay Wilder.
Yeah.
The telecast,
Exactly.
it starts with a story on Deontay Wilder.
Yeah.
And once again, like I said, because of everyone demanding this fight, it's the biggest fight in the sport of boxing. Even UK reporters, which I did not expect, even UK reporters are asking for Anthony Joshua his thoughts on fighting Deontay Wilder. And when that reporter didn't get a clear answer, he kept asking the question. He's like, okay, yeah, I hear you. But so that means you're going to fight him? Are you going to fight him? Are you going to fight him? So yeah, man. So that's what it is. So once again, man, the pressure is thick and heavy. Hey, let's go ahead and get Drew on the line, man. Let's go ahead and get Drew on the line.
Right,
Hold on for a second.
Should I call back in, Dante?
Yeah, call back in. I'm gonna go ahead and get to him, man. Thanks, Reggie. I appreciate it,
I
man.
want to hear him.
Okay.
From LA.
All right, man.
All right,
Okay. All right, man. All right, take care, man. All right, here. Let's see. All right. So I think we have Drew. First things first, I really want to say thanks, Drew. I appreciate if this is Drew. Thanks for the donation, man. I appreciate you showing love in the super chat section. So let me go ahead and welcome Drew to the show. Is this Drew?
Yeah, how you doing, Dante? Hope you're having a good evening.
Drew down.
All
Drew
right.
down.
Where you calling from? I know you 323, but what city?
Oh no, I'm right here in downtown right now.
Told you downtown. When I tell you downtown,
He called
downtown.
it. He said downtown. Okay, man.
Much love to you, Drew. Though much love to you, brother.
All right, no. It's like I said, it's just boxing talk. None of this is personal. But Drew, like you said, you said he didn't. Okay, Drew, you said he didn't fight against Paul Williams. He didn't fight against Margarito. You said certain fighters weren't Hall of Famers. So I want to know, who exactly are you comparing him to? Like when it comes to this generation and this era, how many fighters you comparing him to?
I'm comparing him to what comes out of his mouth. He says he's the best ever. Now, look, don't get me wrong. Pretty boy Floyd Mayweather is a top 10 all-time fighter. So you can't debate that just from the.
What 9 fighters?
No. Hey, Drew, can I say something? You say top 10? I say he in the top 5.
I said.
He in the top 5.
Hands down. Hands down, he's in the top 5.
He in the top 5.
I don't think you can name 9 fighters. I don't think you can name 9 fighters. Drew, you telling me there are 9 fighters?
I just want to ask Drew this.
Go ahead, Blue.
I want to ask Drew this, man. You said that he avoided Margarito. He avoided Paul Williams. Where did you get that from?
I got it from the man's mouth. Floyd had several interviews.
You got it from Floyd's mouth? You got it from Floyd's mouth?
Floyd always said he was going to take the fight with the least amount of risk for the most money. And you mean to tell me that? So that was Diego Corrales? That was Diego Corrales was already a shot point through when Floyd fought him. Come on, man.
Oh, no, he wasn't. Diego
wait, Drew. You just said Diego Corrales was shot?
You said Diego Corrales was shot?
No, he wasn't. He was on the rise.
Drew, come on,
Drew, you killing yourself, Drew.
You just messed up. You just messed up the whole conversation, bro. I mean,
Drew, do you know Diego Corrales was undefeated?
I know he was undefeated, but
he was the favorite. He was the favorite to win.
He was the favorite to win that fight.
Yeah, I was scared for Floyd on that.
Everybody was scared for Floyd.
I was like, nobody can see Floyd at those lower weight classes. We established that. Now we're talking about Money Mayweather.
Okay, hold on. Let me, Drew. Hold on.
Diego Corrales was shot though.
Yeah. You kind of messed up. You lost all credibility when you said that, Drew.
I'm talking about Money Mayweather. We're not talking about Pretty Boy.
But you brought up Floyd. But you brought up Pretty Boy when you brought up Corrales.
I got Drew. I got Drew. Hey, Blue.
Hold on, Drew. Hold on, Drew.
Drew. Put another call in the phone booth. Your time finna run out. Like you talking nonsense.
I'll donate some more.
Okay, you talking nonsense.
Hold on. Okay, let's go one at a time. Let's break this down. Let's just break this down. Okay, let's talk about just money. Because remember, you brought up Pretty Boy when you brought up Corrales. Let's talk about money. Let's talk. Hold on, Drew. I'm gonna let you talk, Drew. I'm gonna let you talk, Drew. Drew. I'm gonna let you talk, Drew. But let me just say this real quick.
May rest in peace, though. May rest in peace.
Hold on. So let's talk about money. Let's talk about taking risk. Floyd Mayweather is fighting again, and let me finish. Floyd Mayweather, just for starters, he's fighting against Canelo Alvarez, who's 15 to 20 pounds bigger than him. He's at a higher weight class. This is after Floyd already moved up 5 weight classes.
Yeah.
The guy is 15, 14 years younger than him. He's one of the hardest punchers. He rehydrates to God knows whatever. You know what I mean? And, I ain't going to even talk about, what type of meat he been eating or what type of meat he may have been eating when he fought against Floyd now. But forget about all that. So I'm just saying, when you talk about risk, and Floyd was backing him up,
The whole
what fighter do you know today, or any era? How many fighters you know fighting a guy 20 pounds bigger than him that's an undefeated champion, 14 years younger, and can back them up? How many fighters you know that are taking that type of risk and winning the fight at the same time?
Okay, Dante, we got to bring the nuance into this conversation because we know Canelo was a weight-drained puppy at
We talking about Floyd.
Oh, no, I want you.
Floyd.
Oh, wait.
We're talking about Floyd. Come on, Drew.
Okay, wait. So how come Pacquiao?
They fought closer to 147 than they did to 154.
So wait.
If we go by the Manny Pacquiao fight, Floyd had a hard time making 147 and needed IV to rehydrate.
Okay,
so they fought closer to Floyd.
Wait. But I want to focus on one fight at a time. We'll talk about all the fights. I'm gonna keep you on because I like this. I really like this. So once again, so you believe Floyd Mayweather?
Real quick, okay.
No, hold on, Drew. I'm gonna let you talk. Don't worry, Drew. We ain't gonna let you go. You're gonna get your time. But let me just say this once again.
Drew, this your 15 minutes, Drew.
Floyd Mayweather.
15 minutes.
Hold on.
Don't let it go.
Hold on for a second. Let's just say, realistically, let's reverse the roles. If Floyd Mayweather was 23, right, and 23, 22, and Canelo was close to 40 years old, Canelo moved up 5 weight classes. Floyd is naturally at a higher weight class, right? And he has to come down to 152 when he already fights at 154. Remember, Canelo is close to 40 years old, already moved up 2 weight classes. Floyd Mayweather, 15 years younger. And he has all the natural talent that he has today. Who wins that fight, in your opinion?
If the roles reverse and Floyd's younger and Canelo's old?
If the roles are totally reversed, the same Floyd Mayweather we know today, he's 23, naturally bigger, 15, 20 pounds bigger than Canelo Alvarez, and Canelo is 40 years old, moved up 5 weight classes. Who wins that fight?
Dante, the flat-footed Mexican's going to lose again.
Okay, so how does if Floyd Mayweather, why does Canelo have an advantage? So you answer your own question. So Canelo Alvarez, if he didn't have an advantage, being the younger guy, you still don't believe he would have an advantage if he was Floyd Mayweather. So you just admitted that there was no advantage that Canelo had.
No, I did not. Canelo had the advantage when it came to youth. Who had the advantage when it comes to experience?
So listen to my question.
That's your own question.
Drew,
there you go.
Drew,
your own question,
let me go back to my question. Let me ask you again.
Question.
Let me ask you again, Drew. Once again, let's say Canelo was the one with all of the experience. Canelo is the one who's, like I said, he's almost 40. So he's been fighting all his life. He has more experience than Floyd Mayweather. He's been in the ring longer. He's near 40 years old. I asked you who wins that fight. Even with the experience advantage, you still said Floyd would win.
I'm going to go with the guy with better skills because if you put them both in their primes, Floyd's skills in the ring and his.
So what are we? So what are we just?
So why we arguing, Drew?
Okay, Blue. Okay, let's switch. Blue. Go ahead, Blue. No, let Blue. Let Blue go real quick. Let Blue go real quick.
After you, Blue.
So if you basing it off of skill, because you just that's basically what you just told Dante. You just said you based it off of skill, right? If you base it off of skill, then you're telling me that he ducked Margarito and Paul Williams when he still have the skill advantage, or are you telling us that Paul Williams and Margarito have a skill advantage over him? Because then you would still favor him in those fights, correct?
No, because let's go to this. Do Paul Williams and
wait, who's more skilled? Answer his question though, if you can.
Hey, nephew, let me say something. Hey, Drew.
But we gotta take turns because I want to make sure everybody is heard. I
I have one question for Drew.
Go ahead, Tommy.
Drew,
go ahead.
Drew, how old are you?
I'm 34.
I knew it. You don't know nothing.
Hey, listen.
I'm 53.
But Tommy, no, we got to go deeper than that. We got to go deeper than that. The question, I want him to answer Blue's question though. How does that make sense? You said you always go with the more skilled guy.
Yeah.
And you made it seem like it was unfair that Floyd was more skilled than Canelo. You picked Floyd to win regardless of what side of the spectrum he was on. If he was the younger guy or if he was the older guy, you still picked Floyd. So why are you...
Can I answer why I picked Floyd? Can I answer why?
You already did, but go ahead.
But I said his skill, and we all know Canelo is not a naturally Mexican pressure fighter. He tries to fight more like Floyd, if we're being honest. So why would I pick somebody that tries to mimic the master?
Okay, but then
so when we're
Margarito is slower.
I'm going to answer your question.
Okay.
Going back to Margarito and Paul Williams, when you got a Mexican that's throwing 70, 80 punches with a fucking head like a fucking piece of concrete, and we know Floyd's got brittle hands and takes shots and only fights in Vegas, what's going to be a tougher fight?
Oh, no, okay, but let me ask you this question.
Blue.
Hold on. Let me go ahead. Let me. Hey, Drew, hold on.
Hey, Blue.
Go ahead and say something real quick, Tommy. Go ahead, Tommy.
Let me listen. Okay, you talking about Margarito. You talking Margarito without the cast on his hands? Or Margarito
or post?
Which one you talking about?
When was there ever a Margarito without the cast on his hands?
You talking about a proven cheater, okay? A proven cheater.
Okay.
Now, that's a disgrace, breaking up Margarito, a proven cheater who got busted.
I could say the same thing about Floyd's IV. That's a proven
what?
cheat.
Floyd's IV help him win the fight?
Wait. You believe that the IV and the cast in the hands is the exact same thing?
That's Olympic style testing.
Now we're doing semantics. The cheat's a cheat, right? I mean,
no.
That's I love Pacquiao.
Hold
that's
on.
Why,
we getting off the point though.
No, we are. But I love Pacquiao.
Yeah, go ahead.
That's why Pacquiao didn't want to fight Floyd. He didn't want the Olympic style testing.
Okay.
I love Pacquiao.
Oh, okay. So let's
no.
So let me ask you this question. I just want to.
You got it, Blue. Go ahead.
Floyd has never done Olympic style drug testing.
Yes, he has.
What? Oh, you make now, Drew? You making up stuff now?
I told you don't know. He's 34.
Drew,
he don't know.
Drew,
that.
if you don't know what you're talking about, I mean, we getting way off the subject because now you about to start telling me that Floyd lost to Tiger Woods or something. You know, he gonna say, well, y'all know he lost to Tiger Woods.
Yeah, he don't know that.
Because that's basically what you're saying now.
Drew.
Hold on, Drew. Blue, go ahead, Blue.
Hey, Drew, did you watch Diego Corrales in his prime? Do you know his record when he fought Floyd Mayweather? You know he was ranked number 1.
And he fought like Margarito, but better. And he fought like Margarito.
And he fought like Margarito, man.
And he wasn't a cheater.
How did you say? You think that? Hold on. Let me ask you this question, Drew. He fought just like Margarito, but he was more athletic. He had better skill than Margarito. So you really think that Margarito was a better skill fighter than Diego Corrales?
I didn't say he was a better skill fighter. Where did I say that?
But you just said Margarito. But you said Margarito would be more dangerous than a Canelo because he's aggressive. You said Margarito would be more dangerous than Canelo because he's aggressive.
But not only that, Dante, he said that Diego Corrales was washed.
Was watered up, which that should have been the end of the end of the conversation. But I'm nice. But I'm extremely nice because that should have been the end of the conversation. But I'm having too much damn fun.
But then you said that Margarito is not more skilled than Corrales.
Man.
But then you favor, but Floyd showed his skill level. But listen, Drew, Floyd showed his skill level against Corrales.
Hey.
So, and now you mean to tell me that a less skilled fighter, a slower fighter,
Hey,
with
Drew.
slower hands and slower feet is going to be a higher risk than Diego Corrales was against Floyd Mayweather?
Okay. Hey, Drew.
You're saying Floyd jumping up to 147 that didn't make it harder for him against guys like...
You know that he jumped up in weight to fight Corrales, right?
He did.
He jumped up in weight to fight Corrales.
Hey, Drew.
And Corrales rehydrated at a much higher weight than Floyd Mayweather.
Hey, Drew, I'm 53. Right now, I can beat Margarito.
Hey, Drew.
I can see Margarita right about now.
Hey, Drew. Hey, thanks for the call, though, man. I gave
Much love, though,
I gave
Drew.
you more time.
Much love, Drew.
I gave you more time than everybody. But go ahead.
One more thing.
Go ahead. One more thing, Drew. One more thing. Go ahead, Drew.
Real quick. Floyd, Canelo, Anthony Joshua, they're not doing Olympic-style drug testing. They're getting tested 4 months out of 12, okay? There's 8 other months where they're not fighting, they're not in camp. Olympic-style drug testing is 12 months out of the year, 365, 24/7. Canelo, Floyd, they don't start drug testing until they announce their fight, and then camp starts. So
Drew.
let's clear the air on like they're Olympic-style drug testing.
He's completely he's lying.
Hey, Drew,
he don't really know what he's talking about.
He don't, Drew.
But thanks for your call, Drew. I appreciate you.
Hey, Drew. Before you go,
Drew, before you go, man, I really appreciate your call.
I got one thing for you. Well, have you ever seen 24/7?
Drew.
Before the fight. Drew, you still there? I told you he's 34. He don't know a damn thing. He's 34. He know a damn thing.
Okay. All right.
Hey, Drew.
Okay.
Drew, if you listen, watch YouTube. You'll learn something.
Okay. Hey, once again, like I said, you see, Blue, do you see how people keep trying to switch? They keep trying to switch gears. They keep trying to throw stuff at the wall to get stuff to stick. The first thing dude said, which, like I said, should have been the end of the conversation, but I'm being too nice right now. He said Corrales was washed up. I've never even heard the average decaf say that. Usually, even the decaf, that's the kind of stuff that would make a decaf say, "Man, do you even watch boxing?"
But to make it worse, Dante, he said everybody knew that.
Yeah, he said everybody knew that. Like I said, you can't just make up stuff. You can't just sit over here and make up stuff. And then once again, what's the advantage? What's the advantage of not testing when you don't have a fight and you sitting on your ass watching TV, and then you test when you have a fight? What's the benefit of that? Yeah, I'm going to really trick they ass. Let me turn on this damn, Thrones on HBO and you know what I'm saying, get my dope in. You know what I'm saying? Oh man, I'm going to be juiced up watching this damn movie. And then for 3 months, I'm not going to do nothing, and I'm going to go ahead and be clean when I fight. So if that's the case, how come Canelo didn't do that? And I ain't saying Canelo did it on purpose, but what I'm saying is, how come Canelo, he wasn't, there wasn't a problem. My question is, why is he testing positive while he's training for a fight? Why are fighters testing positive while they're training for fights? You know what I mean? Why do you care? Floyd Mayweather didn't care what Pacquiao was doing when he wasn't training. Floyd said, I want you to test when we are training for the fight. He didn't say, okay, Manny Pacquiao, I tell you what, how about, I test you for 3 months before we even fight. Good point. And then I'll stop testing you, and you don't have to take no test during the actual training, for the fight. Right. What kind of logical sense does that make?
But then he said that he always picked the skilled fighter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you saying that Canelo Alvarez is a more skilled fighter than Margarito and Paul Williams were more skilled fighters than Canelo Alvarez?
Yeah.
What are you watching?
He kept running in the trees. He was running every different direction, and he kept running into a tree.
I kind of figured he was kind of young. I kind of figured that.
Well, but it ain't just about him being young. I mean, he's infected. He's infected. He got bit by them decaf zombies, and that's all that was. You know what I'm saying?
And then
it wasn't his fault.
We asked him, where did you get that from? And he said he got it from Floyd.
Yeah, that was fun. Oh yeah. It was comedy night. It was comedy night. But once again, I mean, that's how you know it's personal. Because I mean, if it was just about boxing and someone, if they educated you on some stuff you didn't know, then if it had really nothing to do with your personal feelings, then you would, say, okay, well, you know what, that does make a little sense. Oh, well, I didn't know that, or this and that. But when you keep throwing facts at someone, and they like, oh, really? Oh, well, you know what? But his socks didn't match though.
No, I know.
You know what I mean?
Or
you know what? Oh yeah, it's a nice car. But look at the ashtray though.
I know what's wrong
you know
with
what I mean?
Drew.
He keep the ashtray all dirty.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
you just trying to throw something on the wall until it sticks. No matter what you say. Go ahead, Tommy.
I know what's wrong with Drew. He met Floyd. He didn't give him an autograph.
He said he didn't give him an autograph.
That's what it is. He didn't give him an autograph. Now he pissed off at Floyd.
Hey,
okay.
and I'm gonna read. And Drew just donated another. He donated to me again, and I still appreciate it. Like I said, it's nothing personal.
Drew, still much love to you, Drew.
I want to read.
Love to you, Drew.
I want to read this to once again reiterate my point. He just said he's rebuttaling what we're saying right now. He said true Olympic style drug testing. You know, and he got the link of boxing scene, Nonito Donaire, engage in year-around testing. You know, this is the reason why old media is very, very dangerous and sometimes toxic to people who don't think on their own, because they could easily misguide you and lead you off of a cliff. Once again, Floyd Mayweather was the one that pioneered Olympic-style drug testing. When Floyd Mayweather introduced it and he proposed it to Manny Pacquiao, he said he wanted to do it. There was nobody saying, "Oh no, Floyd, how come you don't want to do year-round testing?" You know what they said? Right. They said, "Floyd Mayweather, you're chicken. You're scared. Why you want that boy to test? Because you scared." Yep. You know what I mean? Okay, Floyd. If he is on something, fight him anyway, Floyd. You scared. You should still fight him, Floyd. No one was saying, "Oh, Floyd, if you want testing," and Pacquiao certainly didn't say, "No, Floyd, I don't want temporarily testing. I want year-round testing." Manny Pacquiao didn't say that. Manny Pacquiao said, "Hell to the no, I don't want no testing." Yeah. So the year-round, theory, it doesn't stick. It doesn't make any sense. But yeah, man, facts are facts at the end of the day. So that's We 2 hours in, man, and I'm gonna try to wind down. We're gonna get up out of here, guys. But I'm gonna try to take a couple more calls because the phone lines are still lit, and we're gonna get up out of here, man. We're gonna get up out of here. So let's see what we got, and we're gonna, like I said, wind down real quick. We got 910.
One more thing.
Go ahead, Blue. Go ahead, Blue.
But this dude said he always picked the skilled fighter. So I want to know who he found was a better skilled fighter than Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah, but then he picks the least skilled fighter, Antonio Margarito, who, just like Tommy said, is a known cheat. It's not. That's not speculative.
I've never seen Margarito in the ring with anybody that he was more skillful than.
No. So, in fact, it's the contrary of what people usually say when it comes to Floyd. Decafs will usually say, "Oh, he just tried to fight flat-footed Mexican fighters that were easy to hit, and all they were punching bags." This is what some decafs would say.
Yeah, but
he was jumping on every single position. You know what I mean? When this position wasn't working, he'll jump to this stance. Yeah. So he was changing from Crips to Bloods to all kind of stuff. You know what I mean? In one conversation.
But one thing, Blue, De La Hoya wasn't a flat-footed Mexican fighter.
No, he was a skill fighter. He was a skill fighter. I mean, but Floyd Mayweather fought them both, though. And once again, if Floyd Mayweather fought a flat-footed, aggressive fighter, people would say he's cherry picking. Yeah. They would say, they said Maidana was a cherry pick. And Maidana, quite frankly, is more skilled than Margarito.
He is.
Because he's so unorthodox.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
He's so unorthodox. Right. That's how he was able to catch Floyd with them surprise shots. Even Castillo was smarter than Margarito. I think even Castillo was smarter than Margarito. He had an awkward type of aggression, too. He knew how to time you and throw punches at a certain time. That's why he was able to catch Floyd with shots that Floyd usually don't get caught with. You know what I mean? So Margarito, like you said, it was nothing special about him. And Shane Mosley showed that. Shane Mosley showed that, and many other fighters showed that.
He compared the plaster in his wrist and his hand wraps to an IV.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. To IV, which Floyd didn't. Once again, Floyd didn't test positive. He didn't say it wasn't no clenbuterol, it was no HGH or none of that kind of stuff. So it certainly wasn't. It certainly wasn't. Plaster in his damn gloves. You know what I mean?
And it's crazy how people say he took an IV. IV ain't nothing but water, salt water. So he added a little salt to his water, and he should be banned. You got to be kidding.
But it's not even apples and oranges. It's apples and rocks. Let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and take another call. Like I said, we are winding down.
Hold on, one thing for you wind down. I got one more thing for Drew. Okay, Floyd, Michael Jordan. Okay, young age, they was the best. Okay, you get older, what you do, you adapt your game. That's what Floyd did. Drew, I told you, watch YouTube. You'll learn a lot.
Yeah.
Watch YouTube, you'll learn a lot.
Yeah.
Shit. Watch Dante's Boxing Nation. You'll learn a whole lot.
Hey.
Yeah, all day. YouTube, Dante's Boxing Nation.
Hey, Drew, I'll be back again. Wait for you to call.
Hey, okay, we got 910. What's going on? What's your name? Where you calling from?
What's up, Dante? This is James. I'm calling from Concord, North Carolina. And this is my first time calling your show, bro.
NC in the house.
That's what's up, man.
North Cackalack.
North Cackalack.
Yeah, man, yeah. Hey, Dante, I have a quick question before I throw my hypothesis out there. What do you know about this whole contract deal with Dana White that's been circulating? I saw a lot of stuff yesterday about Joshua getting signed to $500 million or whatever. What do you know about that, sir?
That's just talk. That's something Dana White wanted, which I don't see going down. It's just, once again, Dana White, he's trying to cash in. I won't say cash in, but he's trying to, get some of that boxing money. He sees how successful all these fighters have been, and he knows if they transition over to UFC, he can make that crossover money. But like I said, logically, logically, no, I don't believe it's going to happen. Once again, Anthony, he's been boxing all his career, his whole life since he, however old he was. He ain't going to start over right now and at this age to jump into MMA. I don't think it's going to happen. Okay. So it's just talk to, long story short, it's just talk until you hear Anthony Joshua, or someone that represents him actually announce it.
Right. Now, didn't Joshua call, he said, let's get it, when the guy that interviewer asked him about, what's your message to,
he said, like Dylan White. He said, like Dylan White said, let's go. That's what Anthony Joshua said.
Yeah, let's go.
Mm-hmm.
So doesn't that signify to Eddie Hearns that Joshua is willing to make this fight and everything? And if so, Hearns' feet is at the fire now, where he has to, look at what Wilder was actually saying about, okay, if he fights White, then he make a contract where I automatically fight Joshua, or White fights Ortiz before he fights me, then I fight Joshua.
Well, let me answer the first question. Matter of fact, before I answer it, Blue, I want you to respond to his first question. You just heard it. He said, doesn't that signify or suggest that Joshua wanted to fight when he said, like Dillian White said, let's go? I want you to answer that, respond to that, Blue.
I think it's the total opposite. I think it signified that he don't want to fight. Why are you referring to somebody else to make this statement? You see, Deontay Wilder is not referring. That's like Deontay Wilder referring to somebody else and making a joke of it. You're making light. Somebody always tell me, if you could tell the truth in a joke, but you can make light of the situation. And that's what Anthony Joshua tried to do. He referred to Dylan. I'm gonna say like Dylan White said. See, they keep throwing this Dylan White narrative out there because they trying to get Dylan White to take the fight. They don't want Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua wants that fight.
Well, let me. All right, tag me in.
I'll be honest. I'm a novice at boxing. I don't know everything. I'm just trying to follow Dante Boxing Nation because the dude is well knowledge in all this and everything.
Oh, that's fact.
For me being being a novice at what I know, I try to listen. But since he had a live show, I wanted to call in. They first get a chance to meet the man himself for the first time, and also ask questions and everything. But I don't know. I just hear that Eddie Hearns is a snake. He's like, I saw one of the videos saying Eddie Hearns is the new Don King. or something like that. And I was like, man, this dude must be really bad if he's, like that and everything.
I wouldn't go.
Just trying to get the understanding.
Hey, no, thank you, man. See, I appreciate cats like you. I wish there was more fans like you. You know, like you a sponge. You want to absorb the truth, what makes sense, and you're realistic about it. And you are a perfect example compared to the guy that called in earlier. Like I said, once again, he's the opposite. He's hearing things that make sense. Yeah. Like you say 2 + 2 is 4. Like, no, I don't want it to be 4.
Yeah.
I don't want it to be 4. That's some bullshit. It ain't 4. I don't care what you say. He wants to go against the grain because it's personal. You just want to find what the truth is. You want to get down to the truth. You want the proof. You want to know who's guilty, who's not guilty, and that's how it's supposed to be. We just want it to be we want it to be a closed case. But going back to your boy Anthony Joshua, to piggyback off of what Blue said, something else that Anthony said in the interview. The reporter, and keep in mind, the reporter he's extremely impartial, not biased at all. He's a UK reporter, right? And he's asking him, matter of fact, it was Anthony Joshua who said, I'm the unified champion, heavyweight champion of the world. And once again, I got to reiterate, the reporter said to him, since you just brought that up, what about undisputed? Do you want to be the undisputed champion? Right. Anthony Joshua said 100. Right. 100, right? And then he said, the reporter said, in order to be undisputed, you have to fight the WBC champion, Deontay Wilder. Do you want to fight him?
Right.
And he was like, I got this belt. I got that belt. There goes my trainer. Well, we could talk to my trainer. We could talk to Al Heyman. We could talk to, I'm not about the hype. He never mentioned Deontay Wilder's name, not one time. And he never said, just like he said, before he fought Vladimir Klitschko, he called out Vladimir Klitschko. He didn't say, it's up to, Tom Loeffler, Wilder's promoter. Let me talk to them. No one had to ask him, do you want to fight Vladimir Klitschko? He said, I want him. Right. I want him next. Yeah. He didn't say that with Deontay Wilder. Yeah. So there's no doubt about it. That's the biggest fight in the sport.
That's when everybody
It's the biggest fight in the sport right now. Why would you not say, I want that fight next? And if it's all hype, why wouldn't you say, you know what? I'm sick of all this hype. I want to go ahead and fight this guy next. He said the contrary. He said, I'm not about the hype. Like, I don't even want to talk about the guy. I'm not about the hype. So when you mention Tyson Fury, when you mention Vladimir Klitschko, are you then about the hype? I mean, it's not really adding up, So that's what it is, North Carolina. That's what it is, man. But we got another.
Thank you, man. Another North Carolina brother, and I'll get off here and everything. But when is the regular daily show that you normally have and everything, and the time zone and all that stuff like that?
We do a show every Sunday, and I'm gonna start announcing some more shows that I'm do during the week. But the show on Sunday is the actual radio show we do every Sunday, 6 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, give or take 6:05, 6:10, or 9:10 Eastern. Okay? So, hey, thank you, bro. I really appreciate you calling in. All right, man?
Much love, North Kakalaki. My brother.
Peace out.
Hey, you guys stay blessed, man.
Hey, my brother just moved back out there, man. My brother just moved back to North Carolina.
All right. Oh, is that right?
Yeah, my brother just moved back out there.
I think we got North Carolina back to back. There's another 910. We got another 910. What's going on? Just to make sure, what's your name? Where you calling from?
What's going on, Dante? It's Wink, man.
What's going on, Wink? Where you calling from?
I'm from Houston.
Oh, you from Houston? Okay. What's going on, Wink?
H-Town.
H-Town.
H-Town in the house.
Let me just H-Town all the way, man. You know what I'm saying? But let me just go ahead and say for Drew, he got one or two options. He can either head to a 2-car garage, make sure that he got a car that's loaded with diesel. Make sure he cracks the back window. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna do him a favor. He can just crank the car. I'll have I'll make sure that I duct tape the fuck out of the the garden hose that he can be sucking these fuse on. He can either die of asphyxiation, or we can make sure that he's in the next John Wick 3 movie. Like, he needs to be assassinated for this dumbass logic that he came up with Floyd Mayweather. It was just dumb hate. It was just stupid shit. Like, he couldn't. He's just regurgitating everything that Don Raphael and everybody.
And Jim Lampley. I know.
And Jim Lampley and all of these guys. Like he's Larry Merchant incarnate.
Mm-hmm.
Like if Larry Merchant had a 29-year-old son, that's who Drew would be right now. You know what I'm saying? And it's
passing it down. That's a damn shame. Passing it down. God damn.
And that's why we asked him. That's why we asked him. Where did you get this from?
He said Floyd Mayweather. Do you know
Floyd
this?
Mayweather.
Do you know this dude personally? Do you know him personally? What you doing? You peeping in his window? Like, I don't know, bro. Like, did you get the information from Miss Jackson? I mean, I don't know. We got a lot of enemies out here. I mean, we don't know, bro. Like, the dude, he sound like a joke, bro. Like, literally, he's Pennywise the dancing clown, bro.
Yeah.
Like, he gonna end up like Georgie. You know what I'm saying? Like, his arm is gonna be taken off. You know what I'm saying? And he's going to get lifted up in the sky looking for everybody so that his brother can come down in the sewer and find him. Like, bro, like, this dude was an absolute joke. And I got sidetracked because I wanted to talk about the Joshua fight. And it's kind of funny to me, you know, every time because the body work that Joseph Parker was giving this man was very underrated. I'm not sure because I didn't get to tune into the whole show. But the body work that this man was giving him, especially in that 7th and 8th round, and when the ref came in and pulled him off, I knew right then something was up. And every time, and then after that, the damn wraps on his shit just kept falling apart so he could get little breathers and shit like that. He's over here, he's looking, and they sitting here smiling at each other. But we're in a boxing match. What the fuck are you smiling at another man for in the boxing ring? Like, you're trying to take your head off. Like, what are you doing? He was too nice. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, like, it was, and then the goofy-ass statement he made, he didn't even believe it. He had the fakest smile on with them little fucking dolphin teeth he got in his fucking mouth. Bro, like, I don't know, bro. Like, this dude, he was killing me throughout this whole situation because he could not give a straight answer to the damn man who asked him about Deontay Wilder when you brought up all of these points. You want to sit here, you want to talk business, you want to sit here and talk about that. He must didn't see him on NFL Network. He must didn't see him on The Breakfast Club. He must didn't see him on ESPN. He must didn't see him on Dante Fox and Nation, on 78 Sports TV, on Fred from Barbershop Conversations. Like, all of these guys, bro, like, are constantly talking about Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder's name is spread like
everywhere.
Wildfire. When you type in the baddest man on the planet, Deontay Wilder fucking pops up. Get on your Google right now, type in the baddest man on the planet, but the first fucking thing you're going to see is a black man that's 6'7", and his name is Deontay Wilder. He knows he's the king. Not only is he the king of the division, but he's the king of this motherfucking boxing period right now. Like, he's bringing something to America, and the fact that these people are trying to deviate and step on the king's ransom, and they holding the rest of the division ransom, I guarantee you he's going to pay just like everybody else, just like Ortiz paid after he made Deontay Wilder wait. As long as he did. That's my call. Y'all go ahead and y'all give me y'all feedback, and I'm gonna keep tuning in and keep giving y'all calls and keep showing y'all love because y'all doing it for every true boxer fan, and we we
H-Town, good looking, man.
But like I say, Deontay Wilder proved a lot to a lot of people when he fought Ortiz.
Oh, of course.
Ortiz had Wilder in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
What did Wilder do? Showed the champion's heart, man up, came back, whooped his ass.
He
weathered the storm.
Y'all hearing it from Uncle Tommy.
Pretty much.
Hey, guys, we are going to go ahead and wrap this up. We 2 hours plus in. Blue Blood Sports TV. Y'all subscribe to his channel. Blue, anything you want to close out with, fam?
No, that's it, man. Tune in tomorrow, man.
All right. Hey, Blue. Much love to you, Blue.
Much love, Blue.
You too, Unc.
All right.
Hey, all right, man. Well, guys, we're going to go ahead and get ready to wrap it up. Y'all already know what it is. I want to thank everybody once again for tuning in. And let me go ahead, because we always got to keep shouting out everybody, all the lieutenants in that DBN Super Chat Army section. Y'all know what it is. Want to shout out my man Ray Sean Smith. Here, let me go ahead and scroll all the way up. Ohio Runs Boxing, Ray Sean Smith, Julio L, Ray Sean Smith again, Ray Sean Smith again, Marcus Powell, Lift 1-1, Dark Truth. Matter of fact, I think I missed my man over here this in the tank. He said, my man Dark Truth, he said Triple G has to retire. Division caught up to him. He doesn't have the next gear. That's what the Lieutenant Dark Truth said in the Super Chat tank. Ray Sean Smith again, I read what he said already. Ray Sean again showing that love. Drew showing that love. Regardless if he needed to be educated and put in the first,
Much love to you, though, Drew.
Yeah, in front of the class. We showed him the love, gave him that free education over here. It's all love. Jason Martin. I don't know if I read my man Jason Martin, his comment, who's also part of that Super Chat section. He said, what'd he say? Anthony Joshua rolled his eyes when he was asked about Wilder. Oh, we got some more members of the Super Chat section. My man, The Plug. I appreciate it, family. He said, love you guys. Would love to get a chance to call in and discuss some topics soon. Hey, man, just call in, man. You'll get on for sure. And Drew again, I already read his comment, so he was talking about the Olympic-style year-round testing, and I already debunked that. So that's pretty much what it is. So, yeah, man, y'all already know what it is. Once again, make sure you guys tune in to the show tomorrow. This is just a live show, guys. This is just a live, podcast show that we do. Tomorrow is really going to be lit because we do the actual radio show. We should have special guest Errol Spence's trainer, Derek James. He'll be in the building. Hey, man, y'all already know what it is, man. Hashtag Dante's Boxing Nation. Hashtag DBN. Hashtag New Media. Hashtag Decaf Busters. Dante's Cooking Nation.
Boxing Nation.
Dante's Muscle Nation. It's all day, baby.
DBN.
King of Vegas.
In the building once again. Thanks for my special guest, Uncle Tommy. And his homie he brought in, Cali Cal. Y'all know what it is, man. We're going to go ahead and leave y'all with this one. Y'all already know what it is, man. It's the nation, baby. Yep.